something like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillar. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out there, hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button because you already know what time it is. And you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you. You've seen other people do it. You've even seen some people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this, and it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content out. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks, today we are back for an extremely important episode. Okay? I'm asking a fundamental question, y'all. How important is the ring? Okay, how important is the ring? There's some people who say that it ain't that important. There's some people who say it's a little bit of importance. Who knows? We're going to see where it goes, but we're going to really talk about how important is the ring. But before we get too far into this, I want to say shout out to all the people who give me views on a regular basis, because y'all make up the fam. And I definitely appreciate y'all. Okay? And that's real talk. Now, shout out to all the people who, y'all leave comments after the stream, because y'all definitely help me with the algorithm. Y'all making things happen, and I appreciate it big time. Shout out to everybody who saved the hypes up for me, y'all. Shout out to everybody who does that, okay? I know you can't use it all the time, so you got to learn to use your hype wisely. And about one of the wisest things you can do around these parts is hype me up, okay? One of the wisest things you can do around these parts is hype me up. And I definitely appreciate anyone who does that, okay? And shout out to everybody who hits that like button, y'all. There's never a bad time to hit a like button. Never a bad time. Okay, so make sure you get it done and out the way. And that's real talk. Make sure you get it done and out the way, y'all. And shout out to all the folks who go above and beyond the call of duty. People who put a little money on the wood over here at the Roger Report Live, and all money on the wood is good. And I'm going to give a special shout out to my main man, Universal UC, y'all. He dropped $5 yesterday. Okay, he dropped $5 in the Cash App yesterday. And anytime I see some cash, it's always good for me. We don't have to be on there. We don't have to be off there. Whatever you send it, I ain't never got money at a bad time. I ain't never got money on a bad time. But shout out to Universal UC for dropping that 5 yesterday. And now he has become the sponsor of today's stream. And I appreciate you big time, brother. Appreciate you big time. He is the sponsor of today's stream. And shout out to the people who are checking in this morning. When you start a show, it's always great to see a few people in there. But y'all know how it goes. There can only be one. And I want to give a shout out to my main man, Trail Bentley, who is in the house again. And he is what we like to call round these parts as the Highlander of today's stream. Shout out to you, Trail Bentley. Shout out to you. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah. I know it's getting a little harder to get it now, y'all. I'm moving it around about when I'm dropping these joints. I know people looking. So shout out to Trail Bentley. He on the ball. He on the ball. Shout out to Bronk, came through right behind him. He was close, Bronk. He was close. Okay. Shout out to the righteous teacher. What does it do, brother? What does it do? Shout out to my main man, Floyd Thompson is in the building. What's good? Yay. Afro Merchant is here. Great to see you, my brother. Great to see you. He say yesterday's show wasn't hectic enough, Roger. And now this. Hey man, every once in a while it's gonna get a little rambunctious, okay? Everybody gonna get a little but we gonna keep it calm though. We gonna stay in order. We gonna stay in order. And I'm gonna say shout out to the pit crew to help us stay in order. Okay. Shout out to the pit crew to help us stay in order. So shout out to Chef Mike's Roundtable. Okay, the pit master himself. Shout out to J Dub, and also shout out to Mr. Shug to you, so we can keep order around these parts. We gonna be cool. We gonna be cool. I'm telling you, we gonna be cool. Okay, but y'all, today we are going to be talking about how important is the ring. All right, there's a lot of arguments that I made. And there's good perspectives that are out there, and there's different things that people think about, different attributes people want to bring up about a certain particular person. And that ring stands for somebody who got the ultimate goal done. All right. In professional sports, the ultimate goal is to win that championship. Okay. That franchise, they're going to get a nice little trophy. Or a nice big trophy, depending upon your perspective. Really, it's a big one. Big old trophy. Okay? They don't get a big old trophy to commemorate how they got the job done. Okay? How they put a team together, and that team went out and slayed all the dragons. Because, see, in professional sports, you ain't got nothing but dragons. Okay? I don't care what team you talk about. I don't care, quote unquote, how sad you think they are. There are nothing but dragons out there. You could even take the Detroit Lions, y'all. Okay. Detroit Lions been suffering for a long time. They had a fantastic player that they unfortunately never put the right pieces around him so he can do what he needed to do. Okay. Guy by the name of Barry Sanders. Now, Barry Sanders was a heck of a football player. He was. Okay. Did the franchise do him right? Because Barry was out there. Okay. Barry was doing his thing. Barry was making the cuts. Barry was jumping over folk. Barry was pushing off folk. Barry was doing all kinds of stuff to make it happen. A phenomenal talent. Okay, a phenomenal talent. But what did Barry get for? Okay, what did Barry get? Now he stuck with that team, and it just never, ever happened for him or his team. But he stayed loyal. He stayed loyal. I mean, it's a few times he could have just went somewhere else, but Barry said, "No, these guys rock with me. I'm rocking with them." I can't be mad at him because when you play in an organization that literally changes your life, from a financial perspective, I can't be mad at anybody trying to be loyal to him. Okay, I can't be mad at that. That's cool. That's cool. But when you talk about greats, how much can we talk about Barry? Because they never put the pieces together. They never put the pieces together. Now, y'all, I'm not even the biggest football guy, and I just feel bad for the brother. I feel bad. Okay, there's a lot of greats out there in different sports, but they just never got that ring. Now, I'm more of a basketball guy, so those people gonna come off my head a little bit quicker, than folks from football. But in both sports, you got folks who, they quote unquote work for organizations, and the organizations couldn't get the job done. And we look at talent, and we say, well, this guy did do this guy did do that. But when you measure greatness, y'all, okay, because number one, if you play in professional sports, you good. We already know you good. Okay. Now, even though we may call somebody a bum, we're respectfully calling them a bum from a professional level's perspective. Now, there are some guys who are a little bit sensitive to that. Okay, they don't quite get it. There's been some guys who done kind of snapped off here and there. So look, if you play professional sports and I call you a bum, I mean a bum as a professional. Okay, I understand. If you can make it into, and for black athletes now, it's mainly NBA and NFL. I understand if you got into the league, you better than me. I get that. You ain't got to convince me, okay? If we went to the park and played sports, I expect you to be a super high level performer. So I'm gonna say to the athletes out there, if y'all don't get sensitive when regular folks criticize you, we're criticizing you, but from a view of non-professionals. I'm not saying you right and we wrong. What I'm saying is when we call you a bum, we know we already accepted we're bums. We ain't make the league. This ain't the same thing, y'all. It ain't the same thing, okay? I don't expect a kid in kindergarten to compete with a guy in a PhD program. Okay, come on, y'all. It's different. And we already have accepted that. But sometimes athletes can get a little sensitive because they don't like people calling them bums. Well, on every level, there's a bum. You just have a bum at the high level. You're a bum of the highest level. Some of us are bums at lower levels. That's all. But bums are at every level. All right. And the bum at one level is elite at another level. Just is what it is. Don't be so sensitive. Okay. Don't be so sensitive. All right. Now, y'all, there's great players out there. If you've been watching the Roger Report Live for any length of time, you may know, or you may have an idea that I believe, only because it's true though. I don't even say I believe. I know Michael Jeffrey Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. Okay? Michael Jeffrey Jordan is a special guy, y'all. He's won something that is extremely hard to win. He has become a Roger Report Live living legend. Okay? The second one in, right after Jesus of Nazareth. Yes, I'm talking about black Jesus, not the white folk, not the white Jesus, not the surfer Jesus y'all might have on some wall. So I ain't talking about surfer Jesus. I'm talking about the actual one that died on the cross. That's who I'm talking about. Not surfer Jesus at all. With no blue eyes, long flowing locks, and all that. We ain't talking about him. Okay? We talking about Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son of God himself. Of course, he had to get the first living legend. Now, right after that living legend came another living legend. His name is Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Okay? And there are plenty of reasons why Michael Jeffrey Jordan became the first living legend after Jehovah's only begotten son. Okay? Now, to me, he was able to do that because he got some rings, y'all. I don't know if y'all know it or not, but the guy got some rings. And there are people that I love and respect, and they just never got the ring, man. They just didn't get the job done. Now, I know in team sports, it's a little harder, to measure things out, because if you do like an individual sports, like individuals in tennis, it's just you. If you do golfing, it's just you. A little bit easier to figure out what's what. Team sports, it's about what guy helped that team get to where they need to get. Okay. I want to say shout out to Waskin the Man Cave. He said, here come the false narratives. We don't do that over here, brother. We don't do that over here. We don't do that over here. But y'all, that's why there's a question. Okay. And I just want to see what folks going to do with the question. I want to see what folks going to do with the question. How important is the ring? Because, even when you're talking in team sports, other people got to help you. You got to help other people. So how important is the ring? Now, when I look at somebody like Michael Jeffrey Jordan, who happened to get 6 of them along the way, okay? He happened to get 6 of them along the way, but he was a huge part of getting that 6 rings, okay? A lot of people would, they'll throw Robert Horry out there as if he was the main reason somebody got a ring. Now, that's no disrespect to Horry. Horry got 7 championships. He just wasn't never the main guy. But if you think about having a career, it's a great basketball career that you was able to help 7 different teams win a championship. Okay? On 7 different teams, because, a team is just that team for that 1 year. The next season, of course, the roster going to be a little bit different. Some rosters change a lot. Some rosters change a little. But Robert Horry was able to work with 14 other guys 7 times to get a championship ring. So I say, from an overall perspective, Robert Horry had a great career, very solid career. Okay. He wasn't the man, but you can't deny he helped 7 teams. He wasn't the focal point, but he did help 7 teams win. Okay. Now, you look at the greatest football player. All right. A lot of people at this point, we're going to look around. We're going to see somebody we like. We're going to say a little something about this person or that person. And then, whether you like them or not, out the corner of your eye, it's some guy named Tom with 7 rings, y'all. It's some guy named Tom. Okay. To Mr. Brady to some of y'all, but it's a guy named Tom. He got 7 rings. Now, not me, I didn't grow up the biggest football fan ever. Do I have a lot of respect for what Tom Brady was able to do? Yes, I do. Okay. I was dealing with the Bears, y'all. The Bears ain't never had an elite quarterback. Not while I was alive. Okay. Not while I was alive. Now, Chicago sports has done me well, y'all. Chicago sports has done me well. I haven't had to go through the droughts that other people have went to. The first championship, that I was alive for was the Bears. Okay, so I got 1 right there. I happened to be alive and saw the Bulls get 6. I happened to be alive, saw the Blackhawks get 3. I happened to be alive. I saw the Chicago White Sox get 1. And I saw the Chicago Cubs get 1. So from an overall standpoint, I was doing all right. Can't really trip, y'all. Can't really trip. We make things happen, okay? We make things happen. Now, I may not like to process things happening. I may not like how certain team owners acted and all that type stuff, but being in Chicago, we win a good amount. Okay. Over my life of being alive, we win a good amount. Okay. So we haven't had to deal with the drought from an overall perspective. Now, if you take a look at the Chicago Cubs, I think they did make it happen for 108 years. So, I have some understanding of people who just show up to watch their team lose no matter what. And then sometimes you're going to die and your team never won. I feel bad for you sometimes. So if we only had the Cubs, I would truly understand what that's like. But I don't. Okay. I don't. I've been having a great time. Now, I'm going to say this. Chicago might not win for a good long time at this point forward. That could very much happen. Some of us, we looking toward the Bears to do the next one. But in football, I do understand that you could be very high one year and very low the next. Not saying that's going to happen to the Bears. I would love to see them get another championship. Well, I want any of the squads to get another championships, but Bears next. Okay, I want the Bears next. I don't want nobody else to wait on the Bears, but I would like them to get something very soon. But y'all, when it comes to the greatest, okay, we talk about people being the greatest. How important is the ring? Now, I respect Reggie Miller. He played for Indiana, had a great career with them, came close to rings. Okay, he smelled the ring. He got into the finals. He smelled the ring, but he never secured the ring. Okay, and as a Chicago Bulls fan, he scared the heck out of us one season. Well, we had to go 7 games to get rid of him. Okay, but y'all, how important is that ring? Is it a big deal or is it a small deal? Okay. We got a regular around these parts that love to pretend that Kobe Bryant is the greatest. He loves to pretend that Kobe Bryant is the greatest. He loves to pretend that. And I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him at all. Okay. I ain't mad. I understand. Okay. If I was in his position, I'd probably be trying to finagle the same thing. I'm going to get somebody to believe that Kobe was better than Mike, I don't think it'd be working, but I applaud his efforts. I can say that, y'all. I can applaud his efforts. I don't really think it'd be working, but I can applaud his efforts. Okay, and with his background, some people may consider it more than others. He is a smart guy. I give him that. I ain't gonna call no names. He's a smart guy. But realistically speaking, Kobe gets sunned by this guy. Okay. And ain't no disrespect to Kobe. And Kobe not even around to defend himself no more. So no disrespect to Kobe. Okay. I mean it as much as I can love a person. I mean it. Okay. I'm gonna say shout out to Wasky in the Man Cave. Ooh. And he comes up with this, but this happens. This happens, y'all. This definitely happens. He said Bill Russell has 11 rings, 5 more than Jordan. Woo! Y'all, that is the truth. Let's keep it real. That's the truth. All right. Now it is 5 more than Jordan. And for whatever reason, people don't really lean to Bill Russell the way that you would think they would when you hear that he got 11 championship rings. Okay. Okay. They don't really lean to Bill Russell. But you know what? There's some good reasoning. There's some very good reasoning. You see, back in the day when Bill Russell played, okay, I'm not saying this is Bill's fault. Not saying that at all. Okay, it ain't Bill's fault. But Bill did play when you won a championship. You got first picks in the draft. You didn't have to rebuild anything. They gave you the championship. Excuse me, you got the championship, then you get high pick in the draft. So back when Bill Russell played, the league was designed so only one team could win. You know, now that ain't no disrespect to Bill Russell and what he was able to do and what he was able to accomplish. And matter of fact, if my memory is correct, I found something out about them 11 rings. I'm not even sure Bill Russell was playing for all 11 of them. I'm not even sure about that. I'm gonna have to double check that. You know, if we get a guest in at some point during the show, I'm gonna go back and check that. Did he get all 11 even as a player? But I tell you one thing, I know what Bill Russell didn't do. Okay. See, when Mike won his championships, he also got finals MVP. Bill Russell didn't get 6 finals MVPs. Now, some people may say, well, they didn't have it back then. No, they always had some trophy. It wasn't called finals MVPs when the league first started. It was not. It went by another name. But Bill Russell did not get 6 of them. Now, do I respect you, Watson and Man Cave? Absolutely. Do I respect your argument? Absolutely. But Bill got 11 rings in 13 seasons when the league was literally set up for only one team to win. Bill should have got all 13. Okay. Well, you know what? Now that you think about it, then I guess he was playing for every one of those. Well, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up to see if he was playing for all the rings. I'm gonna look it up. But I do remember hearing he got 13 rings in 11 seasons. So if he was on the floor for all of those, the thing is he should have won every single season because it was designed for one team to win. You know, and I think the NBA after a while smartly changed how they were doing things because why would people take interest when you got it set up for only one team to win? That was a smart move. Okay. I don't know how they was dumb enough to put something like that in place in the beginning. But I heard white people was involved, so I ain't shocked. Okay, I'm not shocked. Now, I will say shout out to Bill Russell. Okay, shout out to Bill Russell. You know, he accomplished a lot in his life and over his time. But was he a better ball player than Mike? Can we really say he helped his team win like Mike helped his team win? Now, I will give you this. I accept Bill Russell as a real theory about somebody being better because at least I can say Bill helped them win. I at least can say that about Bill. Okay, I can at least say that about Bill. Okay, shout out to Wise Skinner Man K. He's a 5 times MVP. Now is that MVP of the league or Finals MVP? But either way you count it, you won't get to where Jordan got. But see, I accept Bill as a real argument, even though the league was rigged back then. I'm gonna say it like that. The league was rigged back then. But at least, even in a rigged league, he did come up with some championships. So, and we can't take that away from Bill. We cannot take that away from Bill. So I'm gonna say this because I'm not gonna belittle Bill and his talent and what he was able to do. I'm just gonna say he suffers from playing in a rigged league. It's just a timing issue. You know, if he played at a different time and got those same results, I think we could look at it a little bit different. But Bill happened to play while the league was still rigged, and that's not his fault. Okay, so I can rock with you there. Watch Get a Man Cave. I can rock with you there. Okay, and I appreciate the super chat, brother. I definitely appreciate the super chat. All right, so you know, white people messed up Bill. Okay, Bill Russell, his career was messed up because white people had a rigged league at that particular time. I am not going to say Bill Russell was not going to be able to perform and get the same type of things done if the league wasn't rigged at the time. I believe he was a great talent. You know, I ain't seen a ton of footage on him, but based on what I saw, based on the interviews, the things people said about him, the things he said he was able to do himself, how much, the basketball IQ he had and all that other type of stuff that I've seen, I think Bill Russell would have performed regardless. I think he just suffered because he was happened to play at a time where the league was rigged. Okay? So ain't no disrespect the way I see it to Bill Russell. I'm not going to disrespect that man and his legacy. I just think, unfortunately for him, the greed of white people stains his career. Okay? The greed of white people does not allow other folks to really get a good comparison on how good Bill Russell is. All right? Now, I wish Bill could have showed his skills without the league being rigged, and I think he would have been fine. I do believe that. Now, I'm going to say this, Watch Get a Man K. He wasn't from Chicago, though, so am I going to say he would have been better than George? Yeah. I mean, don't hold your breath. That's all. That's all I'm going to say on that note. Don't hold your breath, But, most of the people who come to this channel are men. A championship is something you can hang your hat on. When we look at great players, how important is it that we get that championship? Now, I'm a person that believes once you go professional, your job is to go win. Okay, I know a lot of people say if somebody can go pro, their job is to go play. I don't believe that. I believe your job is to go win. They're not paying you all that money just to participate. All right. And I do understand people would say something about participation because of, people who cannot win, kind of came through with a narrative to feel better about not winning. Okay. Real talk. Losers came up with this thing about not being the champion. Now, at the end of the day, y'all, everybody can't win everything. Let's be realistic about that. But why are you not shooting for number one? All right. If you're in professional sports, why are you not trying to be the champ? Every year you gotta every year that you have a season, why don't you want to be the champion of that season? There's nothing wrong with playing to get better. There's nothing wrong with making steps in the right direction. But why is the ultimate goal not to win the title? Okay. Why would that not be your goal? I don't get that. Okay. And as men, are we okay with accepting that the goal ain't the ring? Okay, now what's the ring? The ring is what you get to, because the championship gonna get the trophy. Okay, the organization's gonna get the trophy. So the ring goes to the players, so they can take that home and do what they want to do with it. Okay, organization's gonna get the trophy. The players gonna get the ring. It's all symbolizing a championship. What kind of man or what kind of men would any of us be if we just accept happy to be there? Now don't get it twisted, y'all. It's okay to feel happy to be there when you get to a location for a period of time. Okay? It's cool to be happy to be. I'm going to say this ain't the final destination. Okay? And my personal belief system, if I die and I go to heaven as people think about it, you know what I'm saying? I'm with God, cool, I'm happy to be there. I'd take any dough in there. Okay. I ain't got to be the richest. I'm just happy to be there. But that's an eternal situation. Okay. But down here on earth, no. I want a championship every season. All right. That's real talk, y'all. I want a championship every season. Now, if y'all been around here, y'all know I lost some channels. Y'all think I like losing the channel and having to start over? No, because I want be better than everybody, and I actually want you to be able to tell I'm better than you. And every time I had to lose a challenge and start over, that kind of interrupted part of what my goals are. So no, I ain't like that. I ain't like it anytime. Okay? It ain't, I know I'm better, but I want you to know I'm better. Okay? All right? I don't get up to here and not want to, I have no desire to not be the clear greatest channel on social media. Okay? I want folks to know it. Now, unfortunately, I've been held up a few times here and there. I got to roll with the punches, though. I got to roll with the punches, but I want the ring every year. Okay? That's what I want. I want it every year. Call me greedy if you want to. But on that note, that's real. I want it every year. Not some years. I ain't saying I wouldn't be happy to win it on any particular year, but I want it every year. And everything I do is going to be toward making the greatest channel on social media every day of every year that I do it. And that's real talk. All right. Shout out to Afro Merchant. He said, if we just going off rings and individual sex, if we going off just rings and individual success, it's Bill. If it's rings, individual contribution and team, I'm going to go with the Bulls and MJ. You know what? Somehow you got to the Bulls and MJ, so I'm going to say shout out to you. Shout out to you, okay? Now I'm saying, as an individual, if you're great, you're supposed to use your parts as an individual to help your team win. That's why when I say they kind of did Barry Sanders wrong, because Barry Sanders had a bunch of talent, and there was no issue of him going out there and doing what he's supposed to do. So they did him bogus. Okay, I'm gonna say that real talk. Barry Sanders got done bogus. And all them seasons that he was there and you didn't do nothing to help him win. How you get somebody that great and you just don't want to put nothing around them to help them win? Yeah, let's keep it real. A casual football fan, would he recognize any Barry Sanders teammate? Okay, not saying somebody who's truly, in the NFL, or into the NFL, but I'm saying just a casual fan. What teammate did Barry Sanders have that will be remembered? Now, why do I ask this question? Because when you're doing team sports, you're supposed to build an actual team. And for when you win a championship, there should be somebody else that people would recognize, And I'm not disrespecting anybody who played for Barry Sanders. No disrespect to none of y'all. I'm just saying, I wasn't no Detroit Lions fan. Who they had that played with Barry when they had all that talent with him? Who they got? Who can you say we will remember their name and they played with Barry Sanders? Because truth be told, as a person who I'm more casual. Y'all. I'll be into what the Bears are doing, and I kind of be into the football season till the Bears get knocked out. Okay, and sometimes we didn't even make the whole season. Sometimes I had to deal with mathematically the Bears can't go. So the season was over for me. Then I watched the Super Bowl. I still do that. I still will watch the Super Bowl. Okay. Matter of fact, we turned it into a tradition around here. So we're gonna have a Super Bowl after show every year. Okay. Okay. As long as the Lord let me do what I'm trying to do, we're gonna have an after Super Bowl show every year. All right. So I'm gonna watch that Super Bowl. Okay. But I'm gonna watch I'm gonna watch football as long as the Bears have a chance of winning. Okay. And all they gotta do is creep into the playoffs. If you get into the playoffs, you got a shot. That's all I need. It's one game. You just gotta outperform the other team that one day. Okay. So some people argue the best team in football doesn't necessarily win every year. I think that's a fair argument to a certain degree. But I'm also say if you won, you won. It is what it is. You are the best team because you made it count when it needed to count. You did what you had to do when you had to do it. You got that extra yard when you truly needed that extra yard. Why are you not the best team? You may not, by statistic, be consistently the best team, but in order to win that championship, you just got to outdo the team in front of you that day. That's all you got to do. Okay? And at the end of it all, somebody get in the ring and somebody ain't. Now, when I look at people argue about who's better and who's great, you know, a lot of variables people throw out there. I don't believe Tim Duncan name comes up enough because he got like 3 finals MVPs with his 5 rings. I don't think he get mentioned enough. You know, it's a guy playing right now that a lot of people love. Yeah, well, I can't say he's playing right now because as of today, last time I checked, his squad ain't in the playoffs no more. The Lakers have fallen, y'all. The Lakers have fallen. All right. So he's not playing right now. And that is it's some rumble about, is he going to play again next year? You think the Lakers going, he going to play with the Lakers next year? They going to make some moves to move him around? What's going to happen to his son? A lot of stuff going on right now. Okay, a lot of stuff going on right now as far as that's concerned. And when I look at LeBron, I be like, well, he did win 4 of them. He do got 4 finals MVPs. I can't say he's not one of the greatest because he got 4 finals MVPs, which means something to me. Okay. Now, Tim Duncan got 5 rings, but he only got 3 finals MVPs. That's all interesting to me. So I get why people debate and people have they issues and all that type of stuff. Well, for you latecomers talking about Robert Horry, Robert Horry helped 7 teams win. Robert Horry got 7 rings, but he was never a main guy. So see, this is my thing. You can't disrespect his career because he helped 7 teams win championships. So people will say, well, no, what's a good career? Well, if you can start a couple of times, and even if you're coming off the bench a few times, and you help your team win 7 championships, you've had a great career. A lot of people disrespect that. Now, he's not one of the greatest, but he's had a great career because he helped 7 different 7 different teams win championships because he's won with the same team a few times. So, but 7 times he got a ring. Not one of the greatest because he wasn't one of the main cogs of the team, but he can talk mess to a lot of other players, though. When y'all think about it, he can talk some mess to a lot of other players. Now, can he talk mess to some of the greatest players ever? I would say, yeah, he kind of can. He kind of can. If you was a top guy of a team and you never led your team to a victory, and him, he started a couple times. Sometimes he was coming off the bench. He still got 7 of them. Now, a guy that was never the best player on his team from a professional level, if I got 7 of them, you got 0. I'm gonna find something to say. That's what I would do, y'all. I'm gonna find something to say. Okay. If you was the man, had a great career and all that type of stuff, but I was on a squad and we at least won 7 times. Okay. If you ain't got no championship behind you, yeah, I'm gonna have some stuff to say. I would talk a little crazy to Karl Malone. That's what I'm saying, y'all. Karl Malone retired, never got a ring. If I was Robert Horry, I'd talk a little crazy to Karl Malone. We happen to see each other in the streets. Okay, what up, Karl? Yeah. What up, Rob? What up, Bob? Yeah, how retirement treating you? It's got to be treating you far better than your career. It's got to be treating you far better than your career. Karl Malone might look a little crazy. What you talking about? Man, you ain't never win, bro. You was better than me, but you ain't never win. I'm gonna have a little something to say, y'all. Now, I don't think And I don't think Robert Horry would, at least not publicly, ever say he was better than Karl Malone. Okay? But I'm going to throw something in there about you may have been better, but you weren't good enough to lead any of your teams to a championship. Now, I don't know what's wrong with you. Matter of fact, now that it just popped in my mind, did you go over there with Shaq and Kobe and still didn't win? You still didn't win, did you? I went over there with Shaq and Kobe and I won. Okay. Now I don't know how you gonna measure that out, but I won with Shaq and Kobe. You didn't. Okay. Ain't that about nothing, y'all? The example just happened to end up they both played for that same organization, and they both played with Shaq and Kobe. Whoo! Yeah, you got me beat as an individual, but you ain't win nothing. Okay. So to me, winning the ring is important. I'm a young man. I was a fan of Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett came to Chicago. If y'all didn't know, before Kevin Garnett went professional, and remember he went professional right after high school. He did stop in Chicago to play. Okay, so the goal was for him to get seen, and he got seen. They definitely saw him. Okay, they definitely saw him. But he came to Chicago to get that publicity, to get seen. So shout out to him for picking a great city to get seen. So shout out to him for that. You know what I'm saying? So, I got love for Kevin Garnett. And even though it wasn't my squad, I felt bad that Minnesota was doing him dirty. I look at Minnesota, I was like, man, y'all doing him dirty. Okay, y'all doing him dirty. Shout out to Bucket. He know what's real. Bucket know what's up. Okay. Y'all was doing him dirty. Kevin Garnett was over there doing everything, and y'all just wouldn't put the pieces around him. I was like, what's going on? Now, there was some effort to get some pieces. It wasn't quite like they did Barry Sanders, okay? Minnesota made some slight efforts to get a squad over there. They just could never work it out, okay? So, see, sometimes the organization will kill your greatness. They'll kill your greatness. And if you're a player and you got to sit there and watch your greatness be killed, I know that's got to be tough. I do know that's got to be tough. But at the end of the day, y'all, even though it's tough, and even though there's things that are going to go on that you don't get to control, again, how important is that ring? Because when you get that ring, that means you got the job done. If you didn't get the ring, you might have had a great season. Okay, you might have been phenomenal. Jordan had one of those and did not get a ring. Jordan's greatest season was what was it, 87, 88 season? You can say that's the greatest season he ever had. He didn't get no ring that season though. So for me, it's not the greatest season he ever had. To me, the greatest season Jordan ever had was when he won 72 games. Okay? Not just because he won 72 games. Heck, Steph Curry did that. Steph Curry won 73 games one year. But he didn't get no championship behind it. So for me, that don't even count. What's 73? Well, like a t-shirt in Chicago I saw, hey, 72 got a better ring to it. It is what it is. Right? You either got the job done or you didn't. All right. Now, I understand why people don't necessarily like that, or people may not really see things that way, because when it comes down to it, if you didn't get the job done and your city kind of suck, but you love your city, you got to be able to form some kind of argument that helps you feel better about living a life where your squad sucks. All right? I do understand there's people who are on the other side of the ball. Okay? I watch teams win. Now, I do understand losing, because it ain't like we won every year. I understand losing. Okay? I lost too. Okay? I just got a lot of breaks in between losing. That's what it was. I got a lot of breaks in between losing. I had to watch squads go down too, y'all. Okay, I've been watching the Bears lose like a mug, y'all. The last time the Bears was in the Super Bowl, man, I had an extremely great experience. You know, I don't think I ever said it on air. I had an extremely great experience the last time the Bears went to a Super Bowl. Okay, it didn't come out how I wanted it to come out. Them losing that championship ruined a great memory for me, y'all. I mean, it's still a pretty decent memory, but without the Bears winning the championship, it just ain't the memory it could have been. It just ain't, you know. Rex Grossman was the quarterback then, and only from a sports perspective, I still don't like Rex Grossman now. I probably will never like dude. Okay. It is what it is. In my world, he tried one Hail Mary too many. If he wouldn't have did that last Hail Mary, I believe we could have won. Okay, but I got to deal with the woulda, coulda, shouldas because Rex Grossman couldn't make it happen. Now, a lot of times folks forget losers. I forget losers too. I'm just happy to remember him because he disappointed me that much. Okay? I'm extremely disappointed in Rex Grossman. Okay? He disappointed the heck out of me. I had some of the people have heard what my situation is. You know, when I had that experience, I think I told some of the folks backstage, but I ain't never told the public, man. It was popping when they was in the Super Bowl. As far as I'm concerned, man, it was one of the greatest experiences I had watching the game until they actually lost. So I ain't gonna never like dude, okay? I ain't gonna never like you know, Jerry Reinsdorf, majority owner of the Bulls and Chicago White Sox. I ain't gonna never like that dude either. All right. I'm a Chicago fan. I heard that man say in an interview one time that he would give up all 6 Bulls championships to get one in baseball. We got one. And then the man wouldn't re-sign the team. They was literally rebuilding, y'all. They were rebuilding, and a rebuilding organization came out of nowhere and won a championship. And then he wouldn't sign the guys. What? Now you said all this stuff about basketball wasn't your thing, but you love baseball. But then when the baseball team go out there and win, your squad, they was rebuilding. Yeah, you'd have had to re-sign a good amount of people. You ain't re-signed nobody. No, he just let it go. Yeah, and that's when I truly knew that Jerry Reinsdorf is just a business owner, man. Okay, he cold-blooded about business. He is not cold-blooded about sports. I was trying to understand the man. Okay, that's why he would never pay Jordan. That's why they wouldn't renegotiate no deal with Pippen. That's why this happened. That's why that happened. Okay, he just loved baseball. It's that. I can accept that. He a grown man. I get it. He just loved baseball. Man, he ain't had to do that interview, and he had to say none of it. If it wasn't real, you ain't had to bring it to the table. So again, y'all, how important is the ring? Okay. Hold on. Let me see what Brock's saying. He said, we didn't even need a quarterback that Super Bowl. Special teams and defense carried that team. We just needed him to throw the throw dump downs. You know what, Bronx? You are absolutely correct. Okay, you was rooting for the right squad. I thought you was about to say something that wasn't gonna go over so well, but you was rooting for the white squad. So cool. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. Yeah. You know. And those squads made me realize just how important special teams are. Real talk. Okay. That made me realize that, man. Your special teams need to be super solid. Okay. Defenses can be great and do a whole lot. And yeah, I remember defense was scoring more than offense. We was doing our thing. But at the end of a season, it's only one squad that's gonna get them rings. Now, y'all, as men, do we want people to just participate, or do we believe you supposed to go win? Because I'm wondering what y'all thinking. As a team, well, as a player, somebody makes it to the professional level. Is there responsibility to play, or is there responsibility to win? Okay. That's kind of what I'm putting out there, y'all. A lot of people say, well, you make it to the pros, they pay you well. Your job is to go out there and play for your team and do what you can. I won't say that ain't part of your job. Yes, that's part of your job. But do people get paid to play, or do people get paid to win? Now, I personally believe you get paid to win. I think getting paid to play is a compensation for not winning. Now, I ain't rich enough to own no sports team at the moment. Hopefully it'll happen for me in the future. But if I was an owner, I'm actually paying folks the money that they make millions of dollars a year, y'all. If I was an owner and I'm spending millions of dollars a year on players, I'm going to tell them players straight up, I'm paying you to win. All right? We ain't really doing a whole lot of safe stuff over here, okay? If you want to be with this organization, I want to see a winning effort. Now, I'm a realistic person. You're not going to win at professional sports every single year. I get that, and I accept that, okay? I got to lose sometime. But I'm paying for us to win every time, okay? If you not look like you trying to give me a championship, I don't want you. And that's real talk. And I'm going to say, hey, maybe I'm a little biased because I saw a White Sox team when they were rebuilding. They went out there and won a championship, which tells me what? It can be done. I'm not saying it's going to happen like that a lot. That scenario, not that I've ever looked it up, it probably never ever happened in sports in any particular situation. Probably never ever happened besides that. But I want you to win. Okay? I don't really watch hockey at all. Y'all know why I love the Blackhawks though? Because when I watch them win. Okay? That's what I did. I ain't no hockey fan, but I did watch the Blackhawks. Why? Because the Blackhawks was winning. Okay? And they got some championships. Now, some people will say, well, you're a fair weather guy. No, they play for Chicago. So, but even if you play for my city, I still need you to win. If you ain't getting rings, what you doing? Okay? If you're not getting rings, what are you doing? Y'all? So, how important is the ring? Every team go out there and play. Every team go out there gonna score some points. Every team gonna have some highlights. Every team is gonna do some level of greatness. Okay, they're a professional sports team. But if you're not winning, what's the point? Real talk. If you're not winning, what's the point? I mean, since I've been alive, I've seen a few basketball organizations come into existence. Okay. Well, technically, I've seen a few football organizations come into existence as well. I say, well, we saw the Browns come into existence. Y'all remember the Browns was the Browns. Well, I guess technically I saw how would you do it? Because you had the Browns became Baltimore, but the Brown was able to keep all their old stuff, and then Baltimore became a team. So I saw the Ravens come into existence. Okay, I saw the Ravens come into existence. And now that I think about that, didn't they get their ring? Okay, didn't they get their ring? They came into existence. They got their rings already. Now I'm gonna say in basketball, I saw a few of them come because the Grizzlies came into existence. They became the Pelicans. They ain't won squat. Okay, Toronto finally got a ring, so they got theirs. They got theirs off their back. Okay. I saw Miami win. They came into existence while I was a young man. Okay. They came into existence. They got theirs though. Okay, they got theirs. Now I say you're supposed to win one for every so many years that you have competition. So, like in basketball, there's 30 squads. So that means every 30 years you need to win a ring. Okay. Football, 32 teams, I believe. So that means every 32 years you're supposed to get a championship. So I am actually a little annoyed at the Bears right now because it's been more than 32 years. So for me, the Bears are late. Now, do I want them to win all years? Absolutely. But I believe they owe me after 32. Okay. Well, on that 32nd year, you owe me a championship because I'm a fan. All right. You owe me a championship. That's real talk. Okay. Shout out to Platform. He say Dallas Mavericks got one. Sure did. You see what I'm saying? Now you say Detroit. Detroit been around. Detroit been around. So now I'm gonna say this: they're winning in a decent enough manner because I seen I seen Detroit win when the when Isaiah Thomas was on the squad because they was whooping the Bulls. So that was a hard win for me to watch. that was hard for me to take. Now when they won later on down the road with Rasheed Wallace and that crew, okay, with Chauncey Billups and them, I took that way better than I took it back when Isaiah was playing. I took that way better. Hey, shout out to Isaiah, but I ain't take that one so good, yo. Shout out to Rasheed Wallace, though. I took that one way better. Okay, I took that one way better. But y'all, it's professional sports. How important is that ring? Yeah, you can go out there and play. You made it to the league, so I know you can play already. I want to know if you're gonna win. And I know I'm a little different than some guys. Some guys get very excited about college sports. My attitude toward college sports, and this ain't the diss of college folks, it's just you don't truly know how good these people are until they go into their professional careers. Because you can be a great college player, but it don't pan out so well once you get to because it's the elite of the elites. I'm gonna say, being a college athlete, you are elite. If you really want to think about it, if you're good enough to make a college team, you're already at an elite level. Okay, that's real talk. Pros is when you're playing the elite of the elites. And just because you have a great college career does not mean it's gonna pan out when you get there with them pros. When you're a rookie and you got to face somebody that's been doing this professionally for 10 years, it's a different story. It's a whole different story. You was the man over there. You ain't the man over here. And you do have to earn that. Okay? I believe you do have to earn that. All right? Now shout out to Gary Miller. He said Mavs owner wanted that title, and then he said, I'm good. They can be garbage again. I didn't think he was going to end it with that. I saw some of the beginning. I was like, okay, let me read this. I didn't think he was going to end it like that. But shout out to Mark Cuban, y'all. Now I like Mark Cuban. There was even some rumors at the time about him buying the Cubs, which I was definitely cool with. I was definitely cool with the idea of him buying the Cubs. Now, I'm going to say shout out to Mark Cuban. He said he's pulling back some because he wants to spend more time with his children because they're growing up. You blink twice, they're going to be adults. They'll be gone and out the house. So I can respect what Mark Cuban is doing. Mark Cuban is one of the people who's been able to have a lifestyle where he was able to get into some riches. Okay. He makes a lot of money. Famously on Shark Tank where, They got business propositions being made to him, which is a wonderful position to be in. When you could be an investor and you just take part of a TV show and the people are coming to you, that's got to be nice for an investor. That's got to be nice. I could just show up on Fridays and then I deal with everybody who wants me to invest. I'm not saying he wouldn't invest in anything else if it wasn't on Shark Tank. I'm just saying the fact that you don't even have to worry about it. You don't have to concern yourself. People who believe they got the right ideas is literally coming to a show and you can decide if you want to participate or not. That's got to be a very good luxury for somebody in that position to just be an investor. But as your kids grow up, you want to pull it back. You're rich enough already. I can understand it. Okay, I definitely can understand it. And I heard him say that the reason that he sold the majority ownership of the Mavs is because his children weren't interested. So he's not pushing them into taking over the Mavs. Now, I don't know. If it was my kids, I'd have been like, y'all better wake up. This ours. And we keeping it, okay? Now, I understand loving your kids and respecting your kids and giving them room to grow. But I'm going to say, I don't understand that, man. I don't understand. Can you imagine from a child's perspective, your daddy owned the squad? Okay. Think about that. You a child growing up, your daddy owned the team, man. Your daddy owned the team. Now, yeah, he's a part owner, but he's the majority owner. If your daddy is the majority owner of a team, and you just gonna grow up and let that slide, like you just so cool with not running, man. Let my dad had owned the Bulls, okay. Let my dad had owned the Bears, okay. The sport, my least like sport. Let my dad had owned the Blackhawks. Ain't nowhere in the world. Ain't nowhere in the world. I'm finna let that go. Yeah, Dad, sell the majority ownership to somebody else because I don't really care about the squad like that. Man, ain't nowhere in the world. Hey, I'm not dissing Mark Cuban's children. I don't know what their story truly is. I just know what Mark said, okay? But I believe Mark. I trust Mark. I don't know why they like that. I don't know what's going on. You watch your daddy do all that stuff, build up that kind of life so you could enjoy living his rich life as a kid. See, I ain't rich enough. I just say that. I ain't rich enough to even understand that perspective of being a child growing up to rich parents and your daddy is the majority owner of a squad and you just gonna let it go. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. Okay, I don't even know what to say. Okay, shout out to Gary Miller one more time. He said Jerry Buss' daughter like, OG, I'm taking over. Only got 3 years left, player. Look, man, I wouldn't be nobody's kid who owned the majority ownership in any of the big leagues and just let that slide. I'm not letting that slide. No, daddy, that's mine. Now, I be fighting my brothers and sisters about who gonna get to do what, but I ain't just letting that slide. Not me, okay? Not me. I ain't doing that, okay? Now, shout out to Black Cruz Strikes. He says the Lakers prove you're better off selling them rather than leaving them to the children. All right. Now, from a business perspective, okay, I ain't going to say you're wrong, Black Guru. I'm not going to say you're wrong at all. Yes, it's probably better business to sell the team. You can look at things like that consistently. It's better business to sell the team. But if I'm the son of a person with the team, I'm going to have a problem with that one. Real talk. Okay. I can't grow up with my daddy running this team. And I'm going to say, I think winning or losing, man, I can't wait to be old enough to take this thing over. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Man, soon as I'm old enough, if soon dad come up off that ownership, man, soon as dad come up off that, man, this is what I do, y'all. I be having all kinds of scenarios going on in my head. You know what I'm saying? I be having all types of scenarios going on in my head, but I'm running that thing. Real talk. Yeah, you know, maybe I would be bad and ran it into the ground, but I'm gonna run that thing. I do know that I'm running that thing. I ain't giving it away. Cause you know what I want? Some championships. And I would love to sit there and be a major part or integral part of my, representing my city and representing a good portion of why we won a championship. I would love that. Okay. I would love that. And that's real talk, y'all. All right. You know, and shout out to Black Rule Strike. He said most times the children don't live up to what the great man created. You know what, Black Rule? I ain't gonna lie about that. There's a whole lot of truth in what you're saying. I'm just saying realistic, especially if I got anywhere near the same attitude that I have right now, and you gave me a chance to be in charge of a Chicago team, and I can go out there and get a championship, man. See, maybe I'd be so bad that people be trying to kick me out. Like they might be putting stuff in the newspapers. Roger gotta go. Roger running the team into the ground because Roger gonna be trying to win like a book. I'm gonna be trying to win. Okay, I'm gonna be trying to win, y'all. Kind of why I'm doing this particular stream, y'all. How important is the ring? You know, I understand playing. Okay. And shout out to Black Hole Strikes one more time. He said better to set it and let them create their own legacies. That's probably true, Black Hole. I just know if I was born into that type of family situation, if I have any of the personality I got right now, I would be trying to outdo my father. You know, Dad got some rings. I'm finna get more than he got. That's what I'd be trying to do. I'd be trying to swing all types of deals so I can get more than what my father got. Okay, which I understand is tough just to get one. Let's be real about it, y'all. It's extremely tough just to get one. But I would definitely be trying to get more than whatever my father got. And that's real talk. All right. So, while I'm doing this particular stream here, how important is the ring? And I know people have different feelings about it, and for whatever reason, ain't nobody coming up today. I know I done put that link in the description. I know I put it there, But hey, my thing is the ring is of the utmost importance. If you are a player and you don't help your team win, did you have a good career? See, that's my thing, y'all. When I look at it as, from that player perspective, did I have a good career? See, you can be like a Barry Sanders and you can do all kinds of amazing things. Okay. And I'm not going to take away from what that man was able to do. But if I'm looking at Barry Sanders and I'm thinking, did Barry Sanders have a good career? I mean, he got a lot of yards. He got the respect of his peers. That's for sure. You listen to his peers talk about him. That's a lot. Okay. Well, let me read this real quick. Black Uru going in on the kids, y'all. Shout out to Black Uru Strikes. He going in on the kids. I had to stop my thought to read this one, y'all. He say Jerry Buss won 8 titles. Stressing 8. All capitals, 8. Jerry Buss won 8 titles. All his kids together won 1 Mickey Mouse ring. The 1 Mickey Mouse ring. Now, shout out to my favorite hater, y'all. Shout out to my favorite. This is my favorite hater right now, y'all. The Great Black Reset. I appreciate the super chat. But he chimes in and say, ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Well, I'm going to tell you, Black Reset, right now, everybody came to see me, just me, and me alone. because they love me. Okay? Okay? Don't think you got no pull around these parts. They love me. My brother, okay? Respectfully. They love me. Y'all, and I appreciate everybody being here to show just how much y'all love me and not Great Black Reset, okay? No, I'm kidding, y'all. I'm kidding. But that's my favorite hater right now. That's my favorite hater. But I don't, I wonder about his kids. I'm gonna say this. Jerry Buss, yeah, your daddy won 8. Now I'm gonna say maybe if I'm coming behind a father that won 8, maybe that's a little stress. How we gonna beat 8? Okay, I could understand realistically somebody looking at their daddy and saying, you know what, he got 8 of them. How we gonna beat that? Now if your dad only got 1 or 2, I'm probably going for it. And like I say, I would love the squad so much that if I did a bad job, I'd run the squad to the ground because I would be trying to win. Okay, real talk. I would be letting all type of trades go through. If I think we can get a win, we gonna get this chip, I'm letting that stuff rock. Real talk. People may be looking at me crazy. That's a bad deal here. That's a bad. Well, other organizations that made a lot of bad deals and ain't won squat. But again, y'all, for me, it's about winning. I want to win. Okay, I'm good with improvement from one place to the next, but I do want to win. Okay, over at the Roger Report Live, y'all, I done lost many a channel, and I don't like it because I got to start over when I lose a channel. I want my numbers to be up every year, not some years. I don't want to teeter. I don't want to stay in the same. No, I want to win. Okay, I want to win. I want to know I'm better than you. And I want you to know I'm better than you. Real talk. Okay? Because, that's just my sports way of thinking. There's sports thinking, then there's real life. And I do try to make sure that's in separate categories. I love Isaiah Thomas from a real life point of view. I hate Isaiah Thomas from a sports point of view. Real talk. Can't stand Isaiah. Yeah, okay. And people may say, well, that ain't fair. No. When I was a kid watching, Isaiah and his squad was the squad beating my squad. So no, I hate Isaiah. I ain't gonna never like him from a sports perspective. I ain't gonna never like Detroit from a sports perspective. I ain't gonna never like New York from a sports perspective. Notice anybody that a Chicago franchise got into it with, which was really only the Bulls that we had that real rivalry with. Aside of football and the Packers, I don't like the Packers. And that's real talk, y'all. I don't like the Packers at all. Can't stand the Packers. And that's just something I grew up into. I'm a kid. We watching football. All I know is we don't like the Packers. I didn't need it explained. I don't need nobody to show me no charts. I don't even need the backstory. The Bears don't like the Packers. I don't like the Packers. It is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. That's just how it roll for me, man. I don't need the whole story all the time. I don't like the Packers. And I'm probably gonna die never liking the Packers. That's real talk, y'all. Now, is there anything wrong with Green Bay as a city? I'm not gonna say that. I'm sure Green Bay has some fine people in it, I'm sure. A lot of white people up there, though. So, hey, I don't know. But I'm sure as a city, they have some fine citizens there. But I ain't gonna never like the Packers. Okay? And y'all know sometimes them Packer people, they'll move into the state sometime. I don't like them either. Okay? Wisconsin is a border state of Illinois. Okay, so sometimes we get them Packer people moving up here. I don't like them. Okay, I don't like them. Okay, I done walked in people's homes and they got a Packer flag in the house. Okay, I be like, man, what's wrong with y'all? Man, yeah, we've been supporting the Packers since '63. Man, I hate y'all. Real talk. Only from a sports perspective, but I hate y'all. Okay, you know. And I ain't even seen the Packers stop the Bears for real. Okay, so it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. So for me, y'all, the ring is of all importance. If you ain't getting the ring, you ain't getting the job done. You know, shout out to Gold P. Appreciate the super chat, my brother. Appreciate the super chat. Gold P say, man, what's happening? Peace to everyone. What peace to you, my brother? Peace to you, my brother. And I'm going to tell you what's happening. I think we getting soft out here, Gold P. That's what I think. I think we getting soft. I think there ain't enough importance on the ring. I think we love athletes. We love how they perform. We love the highlights and all that type of stuff. And we starting to get a little cool with them just getting some highlights done. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to take the highlight. But in that highlight, I want you to win something. All right? I want you to win something. You know? If it was up to me, y'all, we wouldn't keep the stats of when you lost the game. There'll be a much clearer picture about who's great at anything. Because if it was up to me, we ain't keeping no losing stats. You lose, them stats don't count. Okay? That's how I look at it, man. When you lose, them stats don't count. You professionals, man. You professionals. Stats don't count. You lost. We ain't worried about what no loser did. Y'all done had a lot of arguments with people, and they talk about what some loser did. Man, bro, what difference does it make? You lost. Okay, what difference does it make? So I truly do believe it's all important to go get that first championship. If I was a person good enough to get into a league, man, I'm trying to go get that chip. That's what I'm here for. I do believe you can get excited. You get extremely excited that first year. You got these are your new peers because you finally made that league. Okay, so now I got peers, who are of this level and of that level. And I'm happy about that. That first year, I'm sure you get real super ecstatic. Maybe even the second year a little bit too, because you find out you can do all these different things that you wouldn't even have thought to do until you made it as a professional. But at the end of the day, man, I need a chip. And that's real talk. I need a chip. I got to get one. All right? Because if I don't get a chip, what we do? Could you imagine playing 15 years with somebody and never winning? That sounds crazy to me, y'all. That sounds crazy to me. Shout out to Platform. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. He says shout out to Indy for taking the Bears for $1. Why you shouting them out, brother? Why would you do that, man? Why would you do that? Okay. Why would you do that? I don't get it. I don't get it, y'all. I don't get it. I mean, hey, to each his own, man. That's all I'm gonna say. To each his own. I don't get that, man. I don't get that. Hey, I still love you like a play cousin, but shouting out people for doing the Bears in, yeah, that don't sound right to me. Okay, that don't sound right to me. That's all. That's what I'm gonna say. I am not a journalist, so therefore I can be biased, y'all. I am not a journalist, so therefore I can't. See, the journalist ain't supposed to be biased. I am not a journalist, therefore I can be biased. Y'all, we got my favorite hater here, y'all. My favorite hater that came into the building. Oh, Lord have mercy. He got Russell is the GOAT. Russell is the GOAT. You still
I'm
get a
glad you
two.
said that. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. I mean, that's the title of the show. Is how important the ring. How important is the ring, right? So if the ring is ultimately important, Russell's the GOAT. We can end it. We can end the show right here. It's over. It's over. This man, come on, bro. 11 rings. The man got two. Was coaching and subbing himself in and out at the same time. You ain't gonna never see that kind of talent again. You ain't gonna ever see that kind of talent again in life. So listen. I don't know why you up here sucking all this air and spewing all this craziness. It's just it's insanity. What you talk? If we talk about rings, we talk about Bill Russell. If we talk about stats, we talk about LeBron James. Your guy's he's firmly planted somewhere in the middle, but he just can't win, according to you, because the ring is important. I'm here to support you. I'm here to do the charity work that nobody else is willing to do today. And don't interrupt my 2 minutes. Do not interrupt my 2 minutes. I'm gonna get all of this one. You're gonna have to call Chef Mike before this one over with. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. You up here talking crazy. Listen, if the ring is what's important, if Roger is right, and how important is the ring? If the ring is ultimate, Bill Russell's the GOAT. He got 11. He got what 9 and 11 in 11 years. Come on, bro. You can't, bro. Nah, bro. You have firmly planted your man as number 2. And I heard you trying to, diss Robert Horry in his 7 rings. Well, he played and he earned them. Big Shot Rob did his thing. Got to give that man credit because the ring is what's important. Now I'm gonna land right there and I'm gonna let Roger finish line for the next hour and 34 minutes. Go ahead.
First of all, that is ridiculous, and we ain't gonna have all these false narratives out here, and I'm gonna say shout out to Serious Rock. He say facts reset, but that's gonna get you banned on Roger Report. You know what? I'm gonna say shout out to Serious Rock. He a man that understands how conditions is around these parts.
Don't give him no idea, Serious Raw. He can't think that fast. He can't think that fast. That's why he over here laughing. He like, dang, I done trapped myself.
No, I'm saying, why didn't I think of that? That's what I'm saying. Why didn't I think of that? Shout out to you, Serious Rock. You on point, brother. You on point. Okay. Now I'm gonna say, as I said earlier, hey man, Bill Russell. I'm not going to argue about his greatness. I'm just going to accept that he got messed with because he happened to play at a time when the league was rigged. That's all. But that ain't Bill's fault.
That's your story. That's your story. You sticking to it.
And that's the truth of the situation. It's not his fault that he played when the league was rigged.
Wait a minute, Roger. Was winning important when he played?
Winning is always important. Yes.
Was winning championships important when he played?
Yeah. I won't even deny that.
We don't want to hear all them other excuses. Under whatever else was going on, Bill Russell found a way to win no matter what.
The league was literally rigged. Well, he had to find nothing else.
So you trying to tell me during his time of playing, when they discriminated against black men heavier than they did other than in slavery, they let this nigga win all these rings? This is what you're saying. They rigged it. They ain't rigged it for the white boys, even though it was mostly white boys playing. They ain't rigged it for the white boys. They rigged it for a nigga doing Jim Crow.
Now see, that's the thing. They rigged it for the white men. They rigged
it for no sense.
A lot of Bill Russell was used to get a lot of white men championships.
This making as much sense as it does for Bill Cosby to be getting away with what they thought or what they said he got away with during his time. Ain't none of this making no sense.
Don't do that to the other Bill. Don't do that to
No, what I'm saying is it ain't make sense for Bill to be accused of what he was accused of in the same time Bill Russell was winning. See, back then, white folks had their foot on our necks. We had to be twice as good to get half as much. So really what you're saying is Russell should have had 22 championships.
I'm saying he should have got at least 13. But I'm gonna say this. I do believe Bill Russell was good enough if you put him in the league without the rules being rigged, he still was gonna win anyway. I do believe he was that good. See,
Man,
I ain't got to be like you and just rag some nonsense, bro. I think he was good enough that if the league didn't rig the rules, he would have won anyway. And Bill Russell was used to get a lot of white men championships. It's a lot of white men that got some championships that wasn't all that great. Okay, it just is what it is, bro. A lot of white men
so
got
he
a lot of
so
rings.
so he won more with less, is what you're saying. That's all I hear you saying. He won more with less.
However you hear it saying, first of all, you're not gonna get me to talk bad on him. That's not gonna happen.
No, we ain't talking bad about Bill Russell at all. We are talking about your subject. How
All right.
important is the ring? The
Well,
ring is ultimately important. Bill Russell got more rings than everybody.
all right, well, let me read this by Black Rule real quick. So I can take this down, get something else up. Shout out to Black Rule Strikes one more game. He said, "I think MJ is the greatest." Well, I mean, you're kind of a wise man, Black Rule. You didn't have a track record of being a very wise man. He also
Uh-huh.
said, he also said, "But I can accept Bill being the GOAT," and I think that's fair. I think that's fair. At the end of the day, I can support somebody making any argument for Bill Russell. I can always do that, and I don't think it's Bill's fault that he played at a time where the league was rigged. And I'm gonna say shout out to White Skinner Man Cave. He say it's still rigged.
Wait, if Bam Adebayo got 83 points, I can agree.
You know what? I'm gonna say maybe not as rigged as it used to be. I just say that in real talk. Maybe not as rigged as it used to be.
I saw the other team foul to help this man get to the foul line to break the record. He might have a point there. I saw that.
And I'm gonna say shout out to Serious Rod. He said, "Gotta read the room, reset." I think Serious Rod is giving out a lot of wise advice out here. He's giving out a lot of wise advice, y'all. Now we got a new guest up, so I'm gonna let him get his 2-minute opening uninterrupted. Jordan's son. Okay. Jordan's son. Hey man, that's his name, y'all. I got to call him what his name is. Jordan's son. Now he got a picture of LeBron. It is what it is. I ain't telling him to do it. Go right ahead, my brother, because you have already come up here in a very compelling situation. So I'm extremely interested in what you got to say. Extremely interested.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Roger. And thank you for bringing attention to the fact that LeBron
Hey, is Jordan's son saying anything? I can't hear nothing. Can't hear nothing.
Uninterrupted, Roger. Uninterrupted. You got to get this man under
Uninterrupted
control.
opening statement. That's
You got
what
to
I'm
get this
saying.
man under control. Chef
I
Mike.
think you need.
Chef Mike.
I think you need to reset your device, sir. I just think you need to reset your
You
device. Maybe throw it in the
see.
lake or ocean and dry it back off, and then come back.
Well,
I'm
I
just
can
saying. I'm
hear
trying
him.
to help him out. I'm trying to
I
help
can
him out.
hear him. So I think it's you.
Oh, my
I
bad.
can hear
My
him. So I
bad.
think it's
My
you.
bad.
So
Okay, my
let me
bad.
not disrespect Jordan's son, because Jordan is worthy of so much respect. I got to give a little to his son. Got to give a little to his son. So Jordan's son, go right ahead, my brother. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. First off, I would like to give LeBron James some acknowledgement because at least he lost it.
Hold on, real second. 1 second. Let me say this real quick. Shout out to Chef Mike's Round Table. He says, "I thought false narratives were not allowed, Roger. GBI, leave me out your mess." He also said, "GBI, don't make me do it, sir."
Hey, in my defense, I just couldn't hear the brother. I just couldn't hear him.
All right. Go ahead, Jordan, son. Uninterrupted 2 minutes. You got it, brother. Uninterrupted.
Look, first off, I am going to give LeBron some credit. Okay, he did lose championship game, and that's still a lot to say right there. Even though Jordan got 6 Finals MVPs, at least this man made it to the finals at least enough times to lose 6 times. That says a lot. That says a lot. That says a lot. But the question of the day is, how important are rings? They're very important. If we were going with just rings, I would agree. Bill Russell is the GOAT going off of just rings. Now, how you won those rings and who you won those rings against and what the league was like when those rings were won, you cannot throw that away. Okay? And that's why Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Because he won his 6 rings and his 6 finals MVPs in a time where the league was not rigged. Where he did have some of the best players that the NBA has ever seen. He won it when it wasn't needed. So you got to make him the GOAT off of the basis that he won in a league when it was tough, when it was not rigged, and he was that guy every time. 6-0 versus 4-6 in the NBA Finals. I'm laying my plan down.
I don't know what happened. That man sound brilliant, though. I'm just gonna say that, man. He sound brilliant. Well, I don't know what's going on. Well, you know what? We always give a great show. We got great guests, and we got some very brilliant people that come to this panel. And I think we just found another one. Real talk, y'all. Real talk. I think we just found another one. Okay. Now, you know, I wasn't even about to agree with his argument at first, but he was able to shape it in a way that I had to stop what I was thinking and say, you know what, this young fella making a point. This young fella making a serious point. But y'all, we got Big Kev 9539 coming into the building. I'm gonna go ahead and let him jump right on the mic, okay? And Big Kev, you know, as I told you beforehand, we trying to keep that curse down. You might get a little excited. I don't know. So go ahead and do your thing. 2 minutes, uninterrupted. But you know, let's hold back some of it. Let's hold back a little. But go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
And I do apologize, for the background noise. I'm kind of walking outside right now, so just letting you guys know, if you guys hear a bunch of noise, that's why. But anyways, going back to the whole LeBron and MJ debate, I understand why people, think, MJ is the GOAT again, the most dominant scorer ever, for sure, the most finals MVPs. I understand that. But to be fair, the difference in rings between LeBron and MJ is strictly due to strength of competition. We can all get on LeBron's ass about choking the 2011 finals, which is fair. But all those other instances, he just lost to a much better team. It's really that simple. The first finals loss to the Spurs. Nobody else on his team averaged more than 12 points a game, and they shot 41% from the field. 2014 finals, 28-4 off of 54% shooting, but lost to a team that literally set the finals record for the most, for the highest team field goal percentage and 3-point percentage. Then the other losses, lost to Golden State without Kyrie and Kevin Love in 2015, and then faced, basically the greatest team ever assembled in 2017 and 2018. So, now me personally, I favor LeBron because of, I think he's a better defender, better passer, better rebounder. But I don't have a problem with people who think MJ is the GOAT. I just hate when people use a bunch of bad faith arguments to justify why. If we're being honest, LeBron faced tougher competition. If we're going to do apples to apples comparison. But again, Jordan does have a 6-0 finals record with LeBron's 4-6 record. But again, most of that is strictly due to the fact that Jordan never had to face a super team in the finals like Kareem or LeBron had to. So I'll lay my plan on that.
Jordan lost to a team that had 4 Hall of Famers on it.
In the finals? No, he didn't.
No, not in the finals. It was before the finals.
We talk about the Celtics.
It was them Celtics.
Yeah. I agree. That's one thing that I find hilarious because people get on LeBron's ass for losing to the Spurs and Warriors in the finals. And I'm like, brother, MJ was 1-5 in the playoffs against the Celtics in the '80s and the Bad Boy Pistons. I mean, the difference between Jordan and LeBron is that Jordan faced most of the super teams early in his playoff career, and then the competition kind of gradually fell off as he came, more into his prime as he started winning championships. Whereas LeBron, most of his best teams literally came in the finals. So,
what super team did LeBron play?
The Golden State Warriors. What are you talking about? The Golden State Warriors.
LeBron was on the super team.
I'm just trying to go off my memory. My memory is LeBron did something. They start using terms like super team because of something LeBron did.
No, that's a myth. No, super teams have been around way before LeBron. The reason why people have a problem with LeBron going to Miami is simply because people watching back in the day, they knew that LeBron's team simply wasn't good enough. All right?
I don't remember. I'm honestly telling you, I don't even remember the term super team until LeBron went to Miami.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Is that, again, it's because LeBron started winning so early, so quickly, plus the Cavs just being a terribly incompetent front office. The reason why LeBron was struggling to win in his first tenure in Cleveland, simply put, his teammates weren't good enough. Like, literally, if you look at he didn't have a single Hall of Fame player in his prime during his first tenure in Cleveland. Like, his best teammate was Zajunas Ilgauskas, who's like a 2-time All-Star. A good solid player, but not a Hall of Famer. In his prime. So
let me throw something out there, y'all. Let me throw something out there because we're talking about how important is the ring. Do winning help people become Hall of Famers?
Of course, yeah.
So ain't you supposed to inspire your teammates to simply win regardless?
Yeah. Like, literally, LeBron literally has the NBA record for the most playoff wins without a teammate making an All-Star or an All-NBA selection. Like, literally.
Okay.
And he has the most
great for
playoff
him.
wins in NBA history. Yeah.
Great for him. So with all that being said about LeBron, how important is it to win?
Of course, it's always important to win,
Is it less important because LeBron is losing?
No, I would say, again, it's the fact that, like, going back to what I said before, is, most of LeBron's finals losses, outside of 2011, was literally just him losing to a better team. The only one that you could really say LeBron single-handedly choked the finals away was in 2011 against the Mavericks.
He choked.
Yeah, that was a choke. Yeah, LeBron choked in the 2011 finals. That was a flat-out choke. He played horrible in the fourth quarter all series. Like, they basically gave the series away to Dallas. That's the one that I think that he won't be able to live down for sure.
He choked. Okay, interesting term to use, and you said it twice. Shout out to Truth Teller. He say, how can excuses for losing be used as an argument for the GOAT? Truth Teller, honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
Again, if we're gonna stay consistent, remember, Jordan went 1-5 in the playoffs against the Celtics and Pistons in his playoff career. Nobody holds that against him. Nobody says, "Hey, Jordan can't be the GOAT because he lost to the Detroit Pistons 3 years in a row." Like, no.
Why would that matter? Everybody got to play. Everybody's who's there.
Of course.
I'm gonna say, you know what? Now maybe it's generational, or maybe it's a me thing. I have heard a lot of people over the years. They'll say stuff like, LeBron made it to the finals. What was it? 9 seasons in a row, 8 to 9 seasons in a row, something like that, or whatever.
Yeah, 8 times in a row. Yeah. 9 finals appearances. Yeah, 9 finals appearances in 10 years. Yeah.
I've been trying to figure out the whole time why they bring that up if he didn't win 6 of them.
1-6, baby.
No, I'm saying, why do they even bring that up if you went to the finals and ain't won 6 of them? Why even bring it up? What does it matter?
Would you rather lose in the first round or lose in the final?
I'd rather be champion.
I'd rather win.
I understand you'd rather be champion. I'm saying, would you rather lose in the first round or lose in the final?
I wouldn't rather lose round.
I would
Right.
rather lose in the finals. Like I say that because that means I won more to get to the finals.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
same
understand
here.
I lost
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah, listen. It's champion, then it's losing in the finals, then it's not even making the finals in the first place in that order.
Ain't no participation trophies, man. I said I
I
didn't
understand
grow
it's
up
not a
with participation trophies. Matter of fact,
It's not about participation trophies. It's just keeping it a buck. You know?
no, I'm gonna say over time things have changed because I saw something that I had never seen before. I forgot which team I saw it with at first, but they actually started making a trophy for Eastern Conference champions and Western Conference champions. See, back in the day, what your award for being Eastern Conference champion was going to the finals. Your award for being Western Conference champion was going to the. Did nobody give you no hardware, nothing like that?
Well, to be fair, they do that in football, like for decades. They only recently started doing that in the NBA since like 2023. So it's like very recent.
Okay, I give you that. Because they have been doing in football, so I give you that. I will give you that. You know, but my thing is only one team get the rings.
True. That is true.
If you ain't on that team, you ain't get the job done. And what difference does it make? See, I don't even hold losing against LeBron. The man just ain't win enough.
Right. I understand.
People talk, well, Bron lost in the final. It don't matter how many times he lost. What matters is how many times you won.
Right. Right.
It's
I
only
understand.
been 4.
Again, and my thing is this: is that going back to what I said before, I don't mind people who think MJ's the GOAT. I mean, I don't mind it. Again, his resume speaks for itself.
Why would anybody mind it?
No, what I hate and what chaps my ass and what drives me up the wall is we have people like Scott Attack on YouTube and other people like that who try to make these outrageous lies to try to call themselves trying to protect Jordan's legacy, or they try to like these obsessive lies to try to like downplay or minimize, what LeBron's been able to do. I'm like, Cam, stop. Just stop. Yeah.
I don't know who you said, but we ain't mentioned another content creators on here. I don't know who you said, but you said somebody said. But I don't care. Right. We ain't gonna repeat the name. But I'm gonna say this. Right. Well, who needs to protect somebody's legacy? And he got. Do you see the picture? Who needs protection of a legacy?
Again,
ain't what he did his legacy. Like why do you need to protect 6 wins?
And then my thing again, that's what I'm saying. And you would make a good point. The problem is that a lot of the mainstream sports media, whenever they bring up MJ, they have this obsession with trying to protect his legacy and trying to talk about how hypothetically MJ would have done better in LeBron's position. I'm like, respectfully, as great as MJ was, he wasn't a floor raiser. You know what I mean? Like, if you put a bad team around MJ or a mid team, him being on that team,
he goes to the playoffs his first year. No.
However, with MJ, if you put a good or a great team around him, he could definitely turn him into champion. That's because that's who MJ was. MJ raised the ceiling of the teams he was on. He didn't raise the floor. He raised the ceiling. So like again,
Jordan actually played for a very bad Chicago team his very first year.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, and like I said, he came in on.
Do you know why Chicago stopped being considered a bad team?
Excuse me.
Maybe you don't know. I'm gonna
inform you on why Chicago stopped.
No, hold on. I'm gonna tell you why they stopped. I'm gonna tell you why they stopped considering Chicago a bad team.
Right.
They stopped considering a bad team because Jordan played there.
Right. I understand. Yeah.
They was bad. He got there. Then they wasn't considered bad no more.
Well, to be fair, how can I put it like this, right? He got there, right? They improved their wins, but they still finished with a losing record. Obviously, his second season, he missed 65 games due to a broken foot, which, again, sucks, but it is what it is. And his third season, they still had a losing record, and they really didn't turn the corner and have a winning record until again, both when the Bulls drafted Scottie Pippen to go alongside MJ, and obviously they didn't start turning into serious championship contenders until Phil Jackson became the head coach.
It took a few seasons for Scottie to become the Scottie people think of.
Oh yeah. Like I'm not debating that.
They were considered winners by that particular point. I'm just saying.
Well, they were considered playoff contenders. Well, they were considered playoff contenders, right? And then they didn't turn the corner and became the dynasty we know of until the '90s, after the Celtics teams of the '80s and the bad boy Pistons of the '80s. Both got basically old, injured, and a lot of the players started to retire.
Yeah.
So again, for me,
let me ask you this, because you made a comment earlier that it's not a fair comparison due to the errors, right? So Jordan's second stint when he came out of retirement, when he played for the Washington Wizards, name one person on those.
Yeah, technically, that was his third stint. Technically, that was his
third.
That
was okay. His third.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Came back, got the 3-peat, then retired. Then But name one person besides Michael Jordan on that Washington Wizards team the 2 years he played there.
That's a good question.
Shouldn't take that long.
Yeah. No. No. I agree. That's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing. He had that team in playoff contention both years he was there. They had a losing record, but he averaged. I think he averaged at least 20 both years he was there, and he had them in playoff contention. So if that's Michael Jordan in his decline, I'm pretty sure he dominates the same era as LeBron in his prime.
Okay, and I'm gonna say real quickly because we got a new guest up. Honestly, a lot of people don't look at it, but he did get hurt that Wizards year, and he had to stop playing. That year, he was actually in projection to go to be first out the East. He was going to take that Wizards team. And was going to be first.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But Truth Teller is here, so I got to let him get in. Truth Teller, you got the mic, sir. How you doing, my brother? Is Truth Teller talking?
No, I can't hear him if he is.
Truth Teller, I don't even see you talk. I don't even see the little bubble moving. Okay, yeah, we okay. He's doing something, so we'll roll till he get back. Now I'm gonna say this, man. At the end of the day, y'all, I do hear these arguments about who the competition was, and people trying to make these arguments. Jordan didn't face the same competition, but I'm gonna hold fast because here comes Truth Teller again. I'm gonna make that point after. All right, Truth Teller, go ahead, my brother. Truth Teller, go ahead, my brother. I'm gonna give you something after the show over, Truth Teller, because I don't hear you right now, brothers. But I got something for you. Real talk. You probably would like it. But we don't hear. I don't hear him. Y'all hear Truth Teller?
No, I can't hear him.
Okay. All right. Well, my thing about who Jordan is playing against. Now I don't know what people is using to make these measurements that Jordan was playing against lesser competition than LeBron. When Jordan was an active player, there was literally more of the top 75 all-time players was more active when Jordan was playing than when LeBron was playing. So I don't even get what people are saying when it comes to that.
Do you mean in the playoffs or in the finals?
Excuse me, what?
I said, do you mean in the Eastern Conference playoffs or in the NBA finals?
In general, there were more active players in the NBA that made it to that top 75 list when Jordan was playing.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna say this: when it comes down to it, you got to beat whoever in front of you. What makes you great is the fact that you can dominate whoever's in front of you, and whoever he was playing was the greatest of that time.
Right.
There is no accidental playoff appearances in basketball. You know what I'm saying? At least not back then. I the play-in thing, people can maybe make an argument for that, but back then you just had a record. Your record decided was you in the playoffs or not. Wasn't no accident. Everybody in the playoffs got there because they was supposed to be there. And since they did, back part of Jordan, matter of fact, probably all of Jordan's career, the first round, you had 5 games. So you had to win 3 to go to the next round. This is not an accident. After that, it was all about winning 4 to get to the next round. And then the last round, 4 gets you a title. Wasn't no accidents, man. Jordan beat whoever could get there.
Yeah.
LeBron has not been able to beat whoever could get there.
If you want to talk about the finals, I mean, again, you want to talk about the finals, yeah. But as far as like in the Eastern Conference playoffs, I mean, was it? I think it said the teams that Jordan played. I think he played had a 14-6 record against 50+ win teams in the playoffs, and then with LeBron, it's 11-4. So with Jordan's teams, they beat 70% of the Eastern Conference teams that won at least 50 games. And with LeBron's team, they beat 73%. So, yeah, Eastern Conference playoffs, I mean, is what it is. But like I said before, when I say LeBron's competition was better, I mean, if we look at the teams that Jordan played against, I mean, he played 8 Hall of Famers and 6 finals appearances. Magic, Worthy, Peja Stojakovic, Clyde Drexler, Charles Barkley, Gary Payton, John Stockton, Karl Malone. It's 8.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No, Kareem was retired.
No, he wasn't. Now,
Kareem retired in '89.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah, he was gone.
Yeah, he was already retired.
Hey, can y'all finally hear me?
We can now.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
What's going on? The devil was fighting me because I was coming in to just listen, man. I don't even know why y'all dudes try to argue. You know how y'all know that they lose the argument about who the GOAT is? When they say it was different eras. That's how you know they lost. You know why? Because back in that era, you only got 2 steps. You don't get this traveling stuff that they do where you could take 0 steps translate into 5 steps. And nobody say nothing when they see you travel.
They be traveling.
Carrying the ball. They be I can't even watch. They travel so much.
But if you want to talk about,
and anybody who plays basketball knows that when they talk about, hey, your skill level is how good you are within the rules of the game. How the hell could any of the current players be more skilled if they have more steps they can take to do their offense? That means it's easier.
Hold on.
Uninterrupted opening statement. Give him his uninterrupted opening statement. Go ahead, sir.
Let's not even talk about defense. Let's not even talk. Listen. When I grew up playing ball in New York, in Queens, Hollis, you don't call fouls. If you take it to the hole and you get fouled, you miss the basket. These dudes, I've seen LeBron flop. Ain't nobody was there. The camera. And dudes act like they didn't see it. Oh, well, how you gonna call somebody the GOAT that flops by himself? And you got an argument on how he's the GOAT? He just flails his head back and refs calling fouls, but there wasn't even anybody there to call the foul on. They gotta go to the nigga with the closest number who's 5 feet away. You. And my man is guard this guy. I found him over there. But you arguing how he's the GOAT, and the only thing they could say was he got points. Great. Well, he does these things well. What do you mean he loses well? He loses awesomely, by the way. If you want to make the argument that he goes to 5 finals, 6 finals, but then how did he play in those finals? Was he the reason why they lost? And most of the time he is. How can you argue about a dude going to lose? It's great he got there, but when he went there, he lost.
Yeah.
How can he be a GOAT if every time he shows up to the show, he getting booed or he's scared to get on stage? I mean, come on, man. Let's just stop.
Well, man. I mean, he lost 6, so I mean, can't nobody say that they lost more than him. You know what I'm saying? At least
That's
say
a
they.
lie. Jerry West lost 9. Jerry West lost 9 finals he's on the NBA logo.
The winning loser.
Not in the modern era. In the modern era of the NBA, in the modern era of the NBA, can't nobody say they lost more championships than LeBron, man.
That is true,
That's
but
a
you
hell
do
of
have
a
to get
feat.
to. That is true, but
Don't
nobody
give
else
him
is
the
out.
credit, man. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT loser, bro. He's the GOAT loser, man. I give
Well,
him that.
nobody,
My
nobody else
bad.
nobody else in this era has been to 10 finals. I mean, it's what it is.
Hey, I
So,
agree. I agree, man. I agree. He's the GOAT at something.
I'm
but
just I'm
when
just
people want to
saying
talk
you
about
can't use the
defense back in
excuse
the
that
day,
he loses a lot as the reason why he the GOAT. I mean, well, I wouldn't even bring up the losses. How do you bring up the losses in an argument about how he's better? He has
the
more
only losses,
losses.
the only losses you could be like, yeah, LeBron basically choked and cost his team the series was 2011 against Dallas. Those
So
other
you
losses,
saying
I
he's
mean, they
not the
really weren't
prime?
on him.
So wait, in order for that to be true, that means he is not the primary player on his team. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying is that he did not greatly underperform in the final series that he lost to relative to his talent outside of 2011. The only ones you could be like,
Well,
yeah, bro, LeBron single-handedly choked this series is 2011. I will give y'all
I'll
that.
ask you.
Yes.
I'll ask you a question, and anybody who answers this, you can answer. What was LeBron's point average in the finals every time he visited? We know Jordan.
28.
Jordan averaged 40 points in the finals, and he went 6
No,
times. So how much did
Jordan averaged
LeBron James
34.
average in the
Jordan
finals?
averaged 34, 6 and 6 off of 26 shot attempts and 9 free throw attempts per game. LeBron's averaged
Which
28, 10 and
series?
8 off of. No, I'm saying across their finals appearances.
Points per
Jordan
game.
averaged
No,
34,
no,
6 and 6. No,
no,
the
no.
only
Jordan's
series that Jordan
first
averaged
2
40
trips,
in.
he averaged 40. His first 2
No,
trips,
no,
he
the
averaged.
only series that he. No, 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 no. The only series he averaged 40 in was against the Suns in '93. That's the only
Okay, so
one
that's the
where
only
he
one.
set
So
the
the other
finals.
ones he averaged how much? 36, you said?
No, no, I'm saying in 6 finals appearances, Jordan averaged 34, 6 and 6 off of 48% shooting and 26 shot attempts and 9 free throw attempts per game. LeBron in 10 finals
LeBron?
appearances has averaged 28, 10 and 8 averages off of 22 shot attempts and 7 free throw attempts per game. And shot
So
48%
how
from the
is
field.
so how is LeBron James better?
I
More
gotta say
rebounding,
something. I
more
gotta
assists,
jump in real quick
and less
because
shots.
Black Rule Strikes that came up, so I got to get him the mic too. And I just want y'all to, I just want people to think about what the importance of the finals is. Why do you go to the finals? I don't know if y'all know it, but the reason you go to the finals is to win them. You don't go to just to participate. You go to win. You know, maybe the ring is not that important to some of y'all, but I thought it was the whole point of starting the season to end up with a ring. Now we know everybody can't do it, but ain't that what the goal is? Or maybe that's just me, or maybe it's people older than me, maybe it's an era thing. But I thought the point of the whole thing was to go win. But I'm gonna let Black Hoover Strikes get in there. You got it, my good man. You got it.
Well, as Herm Edwards famously said, Coach, you play to win the game. And Mike has won the most game, most more. It's, top in this question.
Now,
No,
Black Rule, you Borgin. Not as bad as Truth Teller was, but now you doing the Truth Teller thing.
It's the LeBron tax. They out here trying to get us, Uru. They trying to get us.
We gonna keep moving along till Black Rule get something straight. Okay, we'll keep moving along till he gets something straight. But y'all, my thing is, I
Hey,
do get
Rocky,
what Truth Teller saying
there's
because. Well, go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
gonna say there's a great quote from a Real Pharaoh movie. He said, "If you ain't first, you're last."
Boy, what? That's boy. Who said that? Who said that?
The Will Ferrell movie back in the day
Yeah,
called
yeah.
Talladega Nights.
That's
If you
one of
ain't
the
first, you're
greatest
last.
lines ever, man. Real talk. What
One of the
was his
greatest lines ever.
Bobby? I can't
Ricky
think of
Bobby.
his name right now, but that was one of the
Ricky
greatest
Bobby.
lines
Ricky Bobby.
ever.
If you ain't first, you're last. What? What? You can be second, third? Nah. If you ain't first, you're last, man.
And that's real. That's real. Okay, because if you ain't first, you are last. You know. Shout out to him. I'm gonna say a Drake line too. I thought was one of the greatest lines ever. What that man said, it was something like if you ain't first, if you ain't win, it's like you just the first. Second is like you just the first to lose. That's all. You just the
Yep.
first person to
Yep.
lose. That's
Yep.
all. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Shout out to Perfect Time Podcast. Shout out to Ricky Bobby. Yeah. If you ain't first, you're last. Real talk. Okay. And second place just means you the first person to lose. That's all. You just a better loser. But you a loser. You know? And I just want to say publicly, y'all, I don't hold LeBron James' losses against him. I'm just waiting on him to win. That's all. Now, for some of y'all, he's won enough. But because I happen to be from Chicago, he ain't won enough for me. See, I don't look at what he won and don't come up with more. Other people can look up what they won and then LeBron got more. Okay? You know, some people don't like Tom Brady. But I say all the time, he got 7 reasons where it don't matter whether you like him or not. That's the way I see it. Because he won. Okay?
I'm gonna go there, Rod. I'm gonna go there. Robert Ory is better than LeBron James. Let's just stop.
Wow.
Sam, stop lying.
Let's just stop playing.
By your logic, if we're gonna use
Yep.
listen, bro,
Yep.
He's a better winner. He's a better
if we're
winner.
gonna use the rings
I
argument, then guess what? John Havlicek and Bill Russell are better than Jordan because they have more rings
I
than
can't.
Jordan. As well as
I
I
Robert
will
came
say
Horry.
back.
this.
So if we're gonna
I
use the
came
rings
back at.
argument, then
I
Bill's not the
came back
GOAT.
at the
So
right time to restore order because I hear
I
this
can trust Robert Ory
foolishness.
to take a game-winning shot. That's all I'm saying. I can
LeBron,
trust Robert
LeBron has
Ory
LeBron
to,
has more game winners than any other player in
where,
NBA history. Yes,
in a
LeBron has
championship
more
game,
games.
where he
I'm
ain't won
saying
no
yes, LeBron
championship.
has more playoff buzzer beaters than any other player in league history. 7.
So you would trust LeBron James with a game-winning shot in the
Yes,
championship, or
yes,
you trust Robert?
yes,
Who would trust
yes.
Robert Ory over LeBron
That's the golden.
James?
No, you wouldn't. You would go
I
with
would trust
LeBron.
LeBron. Oh, Robert Ory taking the shot for me if LeBron is on the court. I'm not
If
passing him the
LeBron's on
ball
the court,
with
I'm giving.
no.
If
With 3
LeBron's
seconds
on the
left,
court,
hell
I'm giving
no.
it to LeBron. If LeBron's on the
Hell
court, I'm giving
no.
it to LeBron.
I'm
Nope.
The,
passing it to
the,
Robert Ory. He's going to.
No.
the insanity up here is real. According to what Roger laid out, the rings are what's important. So that makes Michael Jeffrey Jordan a solid number 2. And I can accept that. He's a solid number 2 when rings
First
matter.
and foremost.
But the
First and
problem,
foremost.
no,
If we're going to use
Don't
the
you
rings
don't
argument,
hey,
Robert Ory, John Havlicek, and Bill Russell are all better than Jordan. If we're going to go by
Well,
the rings argument, like
I asked the question of how important is the ring. I don't think any of you really answered that yet. I didn't say the ring was the
oh yeah,
ultimate thing. There's other measuring sticks you can use for people's greatness. You know, Barry
yeah,
Sanders. There's a lot of reason to say Barry Sanders is great, and I'm saying his organization did him dirty because they wasted his talent. But
yeah, they
how
did.
important
Yeah,
is the ring? That
it is important. It is
how
important.
important though?
It's it's right up there with, to me, it's the greatest players of all time have a truly the top 3 to 5 players. They all have a combination of individual success, team success, and and championship. So again, if we're going to go by if we're gonna do strictly by the rings, I mean, Bill Russell's the undisputed GOAT.
I
But
didn't even
that would
say
be a bad
strictly.
argument.
I asked how
Yeah.
important is it?
It is important.
But how important is it? You're not saying that. How I'm asking about a percentage or something. Just saying it's important. We recognize it's important. I'm asking how important is a ring?
I would say rings are about. I'd say about when it comes to like the greatness of. If we're going to talk about the individual greatness of a player, it's about 35 to 40% of their legacy.
Well, I'm gonna say this because I've never heard anybody arguing for LeBron to be the GOAT ever even talk about his ring accumulation, right? All they ever do is just talk about his stats, which is great. But they leave out certain stats, right? They leave out the stats that nigga never played 82 games all his entire career, right? When he does play defense, he's great, but most 90% of the time he don't play no defense, right?
Well, that was the narrative that LeBron doesn't. The narrative that LeBron doesn't play defense is a lie. He's literally number 2 in playoff defensive win shares all time. The only player that has more playoff defensive win shares than LeBron is Bill Russell.
Listen.
And no, I'm not exaggerating. You can go look that up for yourself.
Listen, I know y'all got some stats and you want to say win shares. You don't even know how to calculate. So what I want to ask you is the things that are tangible. How many all defensive teams has he made? Right? How many times has he made stops when it was needed? When the game,
he only made 5 first team. That man ain't made it off first team.
He's made 6.
Decade, bro.
He's made 6 All-NBA defensive selections.
So and then
no. Only 5 of those were first team, though. Is what I'm saying. Only 5 of those were first team.
Jordan did it 9 times.
Yeah, Jordan did it 9.
And Jordan, and Jordan is 7
since 2013, bro. Stop playing, bro.
Well, again, that is a lie. That's a lie. That's literally a lie. We don't have to. We don't. Listen, it's okay if you think that MJ's better, but we don't need to lie on LeBron. Stop doing that. It's a lie.
But you're lying on LeBron because you're actually.
I'm not lying on LeBron.
Well,
go look it up on yourself. The most playoff defensive win shares of all time. LeBron's number 2 all time.
Gentlemen, one at a time, gentlemen. One at a time, gentlemen.
Let me point out why you're lying. You're calling out stats that don't contribute to his greatness. And then you're ignoring the stats that are actually taking away from his greatness. Because I said
you're
to
saying
you,
playoff defensive win shares don't matter?
Hold on. I said to you that nigga he played 82 games, a full season, one time in his 20-something year career. Most of the time, he don't play more than 60-something games. That's the problem.
Okay, so we're going to use the...
That means...
So we're going to use the availability problem, right?
Hold on. But why that's a problem is it means he has a problem showing up. Right? He has a problem showing up.
So the player who's literally played more playoff games than any other player ever, 302, and he's never missed a playoff game, is somebody who doesn't show up? Are we really going to make that dumbass argument?
But he doesn't play the whole season. So basically,
what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're just making up shit.
You think LeBron plays 82 games the last 20 years, every year?
I didn't say he played 82 games every season. I said if you're going to use the narrative, that LeBron doesn't show up, how are you going to say that when he's played more playoff games than any other player ever?
Because
literally, he's never missed a playoff game.
Right. You could do that when
how
you
do you play 302 playoff games? How do you explain that? That makes no sense.
You do realize there's more games other than playoffs, right? Why do you keep not wanting to reflect that?
Yeah.
So quick question.
Sam, if we're going to use your dumbass argument, MJ getting injured and retiring early, those kind of missed games. They count.
He did. We don't.
Which one is worse? Which one is worse? No. You don't get to do it like that. No. Fuck that. You don't get to hold LeBron to one standard and then hold MJ to a different standard. If we're gonna count missed games, we're gonna count all missed games, including early retirement.
My man,
If you're going to count missed games, include MJ's missed games due to injury and early retirement. If you're going to do it that way,
if he's retired, he didn't miss a game. That don't even make sense. You
that
gotta be an active player to miss a game.
If you missed the game and came back, that counts as missed games.
No, you have to be an active player to miss a game.
And I'm not even, you know what? Give that to him, because all I said is LeBron never played 82 games in his guy. He only did it 1 year.
Yeah.
In his entire career. 1 year, he played all the games
That's it?
paid to play.
Wow.
That means that's like a nigga who has absences at work. He been working there for 10 years. He only went to work the whole year one time. And then we want to say that he goes to work.
Wow, one time?
So which one is worse? So which one is worse? Which one is objectively worse? Missing some games here and there due to playoff rest and or a short-term injury, or missing a shit ton of games due to a broken leg and early retirement twice?
I'm gonna tell you which one is worse. The first one, because the second one got 6 rings out of it.
Exactly, 6 rings.
Okay.
Hey, Big Kev, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a serious question, bro? It's a serious question, okay? You listening?
Yeah, bro, I hear you.
Okay, all right. What would you rather have as a basketball player? Would you rather have your legacy solidified with 6 NBA Finals appearances in which you won all 6, and you were the guy, like you was the guy of the whole series, you was the Finals MVP, right? Or would you want to retire with 4 rings and 6 NBA Final losses, chasing the guy?
So you're basically asking me, would I rather have 6 gold medals, all right, or would I rather have 4 gold medals and 6 silver medals? I would take the latter.
So you take, okay, all right. So yeah, you delusional, man. Yeah.
No, it gives us an idea of how important the ring is, because that's what I'm trying to really get from people. How important is the actual ring? So I guess if your favorite player didn't win enough of them, you make an argument that the ring itself is not that important.
Right, but you're making that argument based off of the fact
No. I am saying that it is important. I'm not denying it's important. I'm not denying. I never said it wasn't important. I said it's about 35 to 40% of a player's career, because when we talk about the greatest players
how
ever,
you calculate that when you got multiple rings? Because you say if it's 35% of a player's career, well, Jordan got 6. You can't give him 35% 6 times.
No. I'm saying is that because when we judge Jordan, we're not only doing it based off the ring count. We're also doing it based off.
I'm saying it's anybody. We're saying anybody, because if you judge Jordan one way, you judge all these other people the same way. They're gonna all have whatever numbers they're gonna have. That's why I'm kind of trying to figure out what you mean, because you say it's 35 to 40%. Well, okay, there's people with 1 ring out there. Is that 35 to 40% of their career?
No, I'm saying that when we judge the players, we judge like when we talk about the best basketball players of all time, it's not strictly about ring count. We factor in style of play, team success, all right, individual production and individual awards, all right. All those things get factored in. You know, it ain't just, we don't only talk about rings. We talk about Jordan.
What you just said,
when I asked that question, the way you asked it, you basically said that you don't mind losing more for stats, essentially.
What I'm saying is that if I'm individually playing up to my potential and I fall short in the vast majority of my losses, I'm cool with that. All right, because like this, I'd rather be. Obviously, I would like to win a championship. Obviously, yes. But if I can't win the championship, I can at least be proud of the fact that I went down there and played for glory. You know what I mean?
Well, hold on now. Let me throw this out here too. I never said about the level of a player. Randy Brown got some rings with the Bulls. You don't probably know who Randy Brown is. I use him because he's a very unknown person amongst the average person.
Yeah.
Randy Brown got rings too.
Right.
So how do you when you measure the greatness? What do you mean? Because Jordan got rings, but Randy Brown got
Right.
rings too. Okay,
Right. What I'm saying is that
I didn't even say an argument for the greatest player ever. I'm trying to figure out how important the ring is to people.
Yeah, and for me, I said about 35 to 40%.
But if you win 6 times, or you win 5 times, or 4 times, how do you calculate that?
Okay, so what I'm saying is that what makes a player's legacy, right? When I say rings aren't the only thing that matters, I'm saying that when you look at a player's legacy, we look at somebody who's great like Kareem, who also has 6 rings, and we look at somebody great like Magic Johnson, we're not only looking at the ring count, we're also looking at their style of play, their competition level, and their individual production and awards. We're not only looking at one thing.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
How do I measure Randy Brown's greatness?
Well, see, exactly. That's a good question, man. And I think you
was
kind of
Randy
missed
Brown
it.
a great scorer? Was
You're
Randy
missing
Brown
where
a
he's
great
going.
You ain't
scorer?
never even heard of Randy Brown.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
missing
Because
where he's
he wasn't a
asking in
great
that
scorer.
question, bro.
I want to say this because
What role
for
did he
some
have in
strange
team?
reason,
What role did he have in it?
he don't know Randy Brown, man.
The importance of the ring, kind of gets wrapped up in your role in winning it, right? Because that's what's going to be the true measure of
I don't
greatness.
even.
What was your role in winning it?
I think in this discussion, the value of the rings is actually 0, because I don't know if you noticed, but when people do the comparison, they always make exceptions, right? It was a different era, is what they'll say, right? The players now can shoot better, right? Although the shooting percentages are actually the same, they're just taking more shots. I don't know if you noticed or not, but we'll leave that later.
Yep.
Because they ran these stats. The shooting percentages are actually the same. They're just taking far more shots than they did back in the day. But all right, we'll leave there. They say different era. So my argument is that we compare actually the errors. These players today could not play in those eras. LeBron James can't play against the Pistons.
What are you talking about? Nobody on the Pistons outweighed LeBron James when it comes to weight. What are y'all talking about, bro? What are you
So
talking
everybody
about?
who knows what the Pistons did, what do you think would happen to LeBron playing the Pistons with Bill Laimbeer on there talking about he ain't coming through here? What do you think would happen to LeBron? You think LeBron would be able to strong arm his way through there? Dennis Rodman, John Sally. You really think LeBron would be able to play a whole game with them dudes?
Yes.
He can't even not flop now in a garbage game. How's he gonna play with them?
All right, I gotta put a pause on it for a second. We got another guest that just came up, and just so y'all know, Randy Brown won 3 rings. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. When you say your legacy, how does Randy Brown fit? You don't even know who he is, but he got 3 championships. Okay, but we get, but I'm gonna give the floor to. This dude is diabolical. We're going to get the floor to Jordan likes to cross dress. You dirty for that one, brother. You dirty for that one. But go ahead. Jordan likes to cross dress. You got it. You on mute, brother. If you don't know it, you on mute. Okay, Jordan likes to cross dress is on mute, so we gonna keep pushing forward. And I'm gonna say shout out to Low End Theory. He says, ask how do they calculate win shares? Now that's something I don't know myself. Do any of y'all know how win shares are calculated?
No, I'm here. I just wanted to hear you say that as many times as possible.
I knew you was doing that too. I knew it. I was like, this mofo. That's why I stopped. Like, I ain't gonna say it no more, man. Go ahead.
So I hope everybody's doing well today. And no, it's not fake news. Jordan absolutely does cross dress. I don't have the proof, but I believe it. Now, how important the rings, right? So rings. I think rings are important because it gets you in the conversation. Once it gets you in the conversation, then it doesn't become as important. But it's one of those things that you need it as an admission ticket, right? So if you know what I mean, like you need it as an admission ticket. But once you get inside the door, the other things happen. Like so, for example, Queen James, right? He's under 500 in the finals, right? He lost more finals than one. He is the only superstar that's in the top 10 with a losing average in the finals, right? No, Bill Russell, Tim Duncan, Kobe, cross-dressing MJ, Pippen, Magic, all are above 500. So I think rings is just the admission ticket. And I'll pass the mic on that.
Okay, that's an interesting way to put it. Interesting.
All I'm saying is he could be in a skirt, a mini skirt, and a blouse. I'm still passing him the ball to take the last shot in the game. That's all I'm saying.
Hot sauce. Did I tell you ain't shit, man?
Hey, man. Don't hate.
If I didn't, man, you ain't shit, bro. You ain't shit.
We definitely see it right now. We definitely see it right now.
Petties.
But going back to what the other brothers conference, that's what I'm saying before. I'm like, we talk about the best players ever. We don't only look at rings. We also look at, like you said, it's the admission into the upper echelon of the grades. But it's not the only thing. That's why I said 35 to 40%. You know.
Well, it's just a mission ticket, man. Like, because Bill Russell has the most, but nobody calls him the GOAT. Has 6. Kareem has 6, right? But people say Jordan's better than Kareem, right? So, well, it depends, right? Older folks will say Kareem is better than Jordan, right? Like Dr. J will say Kareem is better than Jordan. So it just depends on your era also.
And then going back to the era was actually much faster in the 60s than what it is now. Like the 90s era, like the late 90s to the 2000s, they actually played at like a slower pace than what they do now. So if you want to talk about which era has the most shots, it's definitely 60s during Wilt Chamberlain's era.
Yeah, but they don't have a 3-point line. So,
That is true.
Right? So I'm just saying, when we compare eras, everybody wants to leave out the reason why the 90s, right? It wasn't just that it was the big man downstairs. That was one point in addition to the big man. That was a big reason. The other reason why it was slow is because a thing called defense, full court presses that existed. Zone wasn't allowed. That wasn't an option. You couldn't play zone, right? So you had to, if you're gonna guard somebody man to man, you're gonna press them full court. You gotta press them, or you're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught slipping. They don't do that now. They don't play defense. Dudes, listen, I see LeBron James take it from the center court, dribble it all the way down, and dunk it, and nobody jumped. They just all looked at him.
Well, if you want to talk about
like, wait,
those,
who was? Nobody even gonna step in the room. Like, what's going on?
well, if you want to talk about zone defense,
but that's
Pepper, don't give it too harder to play against than one-on-one, bro.
No, but you guys gotta also understand. You guys also gotta understand. Rules and regulations have changed, right? Like for example, the way they drive to the basket now, that's a travel in the 90s, right? No hand checking.
I mean, technically, it's still a travel now. They haven't actually changed those rules. They just let people
but they want a higher scoring game, right? So Adam Silver put things in place to have it as a higher scoring game, like palming the ball, things like that. There's a lot of stuff that the refs don't call anymore, things like that to keep it a faster paced game. So Yeah, because I mean, like if you saw like people who really watch LeBron game, you'll know that anyone that's about 250 or bigger, LeBron can't score like that. Like when he was against the Indiana Pacers, when Roy Hilbert or the Spurs, right? Spurs. What's that dude name from Europe? Something Day something like that, right? They can keep him out the
Which
paint.
which Spurs? I mean, if you're going to talk about the 2007 finals, they used a lot of drop coverage and whatnot. You know, his
No,
own
no,
coverage to guard
no.
LeBron.
When he was in Cleveland, right? They
That's
were
what I'm saying. Like during his first stint, like they used a lot of drop coverage and zone defense to guard against
yeah,
LeBron.
but also Spurs were big, so they can keep LeBron out from going downhill because they're also big, right?
I mean, if you want to talk about individually stopping somebody, you can slow LeBron down, but you're not going to stop him. You can slow him down for sure. Yeah,
That's absurd.
you
Because
can slow him down. Yeah, you want to talk about stopping him? I'm like, we should go ahead and stop LeBron.
They stopped him.
If you watch,
This is not football. You can't just run through people.
If you watch LeBron doesn't run over anybody that weighs more than 250.
Nope.
Okay.
And he doesn't like playing with his back to the basket, so he can't bang with him down low either.
Right, and so like, but in the '90s you had a '90s and '90s you had a lot of bigger guys, right? In the '90s, right? You didn't have these thin, lanky guys like Kevin Durant, Wemby, you like tall and lanky.
Yeah, those guys are tall. Yeah.
Alonzo Mourning 250, Shaq 300, Patrick Ewing 260. You know, we had like big boys back then, right? Charles
You had
Barkley.
for the bigs, the bigs are like Charles Barkley was 6'4", 250. LeBron is 6'9", 260. What are you talking about? He's bigger than Charles.
Yeah, I don't know why you think that height would matter if he can't pick the ball up to do anything.
What are you talking about? Dog, stop.
You're not going to.
You're really trying to explain to me how Charles Barkley was just somehow this elite defender? Is that the argument you're making?
My point is,
he was.
Wait,
no, he wasn't.
First of all, he was because he could get a lot of rebounds because of his weight.
He could get yes, he was a great scorer and rebounder, but he was not a great defender. What are y'all talking about?
My point is that if LeBron James is coming downhill, he is not running over Charles Barkley. He's too heavy. He's too heavy.
He wouldn't need to run him over. He could just blow right by him. Why? Why would he need to run over Charles Barkley? He could just blow right by him. He wouldn't need to.
Charles was left alone.
Just so you know, Charles Barkley was on the all defensive team for 16 years.
Yeah.
That is a lie. He has 0 All-NBA defensive selections. Go look it up for yourself. Charles Barkley was never an defender. No, he wasn't. Go look at ProBasketballReference.com. He has 0 All-NBA defensive sections. Not one. 0.
You know what?
Barkley was never in the league defender.
Do you think LeBron James would run through Charles Barkley?
No.
Yes. Good,
well,
yes.
If Carmelo couldn't do it, how is LeBron James going to?
Because LeBron takes better care of his body than Barkley. And he's faster.
I don't even know what that means. How does he take better care of his body if he can run through? I
yes,
say that too. Why does everybody say he's faster? He's not.
He's faster than Barkley, yeah.
No, he's not.
Are you crazy? Have you ever seen
Barkley was never known for taking his nutrition seriously.
Yes, he did.
You're
quite
too
often.
Young. You're too young, bro. You're too young. Not you're too young. Because Barkley during his era was either second or third best player in the NBA during the 90s. It was Jordan, Pippen, then Barkley.
I think he's some habit too. I don't know why he thinks LeBron James just gonna run through people, and like you can't just run through people in the league, man. I mean, even if he did, right? Even if he does just run through people, how many possessions can he do that on? Because all he could do is drive to the basket and dunk. He can't shoot. He can't fade away. He doesn't have any short jumpers. He doesn't have dribble, stop. He doesn't have any of those things. It's either a three-pointer or he's going directly to the basket. He can't turn his back to the basket. He can't do any of that. And if they don't allow him to travel, he wouldn't even be able to do this, what he's doing now. Because he travels every single time.
Yep.
So,
That's everybody. Everybody travels.
That's true.
Air flops.
That's true.
Everybody travels down though.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, he came up to try to basically make a LeBron is the GOAT argument when the show was really just about how important the ring is, because people get rings in football. I wasn't even really going after who's the greatest. That's clearly defined that it's Jordan. You know
what happens is they get triggered anytime they get reminded to go, and then it always becomes, LeBron always ends the conversation because it's just triggering.
I mean, he literally came up here to insert LeBron in the conversation for greatest of all time when I wasn't trying to even get into who the greatest of all time, because, like I said, that's clearly been defined already. I mean, I ain't got nothing against younger folks who like LeBron, but at the end of the day, Jordan played 15 years and he got 6 titles out of it when he was the man and got the title. Well, LeBron just finished 22, and he got 4 of them.
Yeah.
It took a guy 15 years to do it 6 times. It took the other guy 22 years to do it 4 times. That argument needs to be let go at this point, because the longer LeBron plays, the worse the argument is for him.
Yeah. Well, technically, Jordan got 6 in 10 years, right? Technically.
No, I understand what you're saying, but my thing is, I to avoid excuse making, I'm gonna count all the years, so all together 15. Okay, but he got 6. LeBron all together 22. He has 4. Now, based on my math, that's not a comparison you want to make if you're the person with the 4.
Well, I don't. Well, see, that's where I think rings stop. I think rings lose their point at that point. If we're saying that we're using rings to decide who's the best player, because we don't consider the best.
Well, if we compare the 3 best players of all time, and LeBron and Kareem, here's the stats they all have in common with each other, right? Each player has 4 MVPs, 6 finals appearances, at least 4 championships, at least 2 finals MVPs, and they led the entire league in player efficiency rating, offensive win shares per 48 minutes, and value over replacement player in both the regular season and the playoffs at least 4 times. So when we're talking about the greatest players of all time, like, that's why they're considered the greatest. It's not just rules; it's also individual production and efficiency. Like, there's a reason why old heads in the 70s consider Kareem the GOAT. There's a reason why people like you guys consider MJ the GOAT. There's a reason why people like me consider LeBron the GOAT. Because all 3 players have these things in common with each other.
Nah, I don't consider that.
No, I don't consider
right.
Well,
I would say this: all of the stats you just read out, Michael Jordan tops all of them except maybe 1. So I don't. But what I'm saying is, I don't even bring up the ring. So that was the point. The point of the show is, how much does rings bring to determining that, or how important are they? And in this comparison, talking about players, rings are only important when the players have equal number of rings or close to the same number of rings, right? But honestly, before you get there, there's a whole ton of things that they have to accomplish before they can get there, right? So people say, just like this young man was referencing Charles Barkley because he's never seen him play. He's saying he couldn't do this, he couldn't do that. All of us who have seen him play is like, nah, he did that every night. So
no. I'm not saying Charles Barkley. I'm not saying Charles Barkley isn't great. I'm saying Charles Barkley was not a great defender. Yes, he was a great scorer and rebounder. He was never a great defender.
But you can't tell me he couldn't stop LeBron. You couldn't stop LeBron James. Come on now. LeBron James only got 1 move. And it
I would
requires
You're telling me that
recommend.
Charles
traveling.
Barkley would be
It
able to.
requires traveling to get it popping. I'm just saying.
Dan, if you're saying that Charles Barkley could be able to stop LeBron James, I'm like, brother, you're on crack.
Yes.
Put
I
down the
would
crack pipe, brother.
recommend you
Put down
actually
the crack pipe, brother.
go watch the Olympic ball. There was a team
Right.
you may have heard of called the Dream Team. They was pretty
Right.
decent.
Yeah, I
See how Charles Barkley was on that team, and then there was
yes,
this
against other
other
players.
team that kind of lost that LeBron was on, but there was an Olympic team. You may want to go
Well,
check that squad
team
out
that-
and see how
the
LeBron
team
can
that
move.
LeBron lost to, the team that LeBron lost to in 2024, he barely got any playing time. What are you talking about? And then when he did get down there playing time, he won.
I'm saying you should go see how the different players move
Well, I want to
Oh,
say
yeah.
this
to get
I
an
wanna
idea.
say-
Hold on, let me read this real quick. Shout out to Logan Theory. He says the amount of stress these Brownites use to argue their point. Somebody get a Xanax.
I want to.
No. Like I said before, my thing is
Hey, y'all sound like a fish market in here, man.
So I wanna say this right quick. I'm gonna change my point a little bit, because if you're Robert Ory, rings don't mean anything, and that nigga got 7. If you know what I mean, like rings matter, but caveat, you gotta be like the franchise player. You gotta be at least first or second, right? Like Klay Thompson, his rings matter, but like a person like Scottie Pippen, his rings matter. But a person like I don't know, like Robert or
Like I said, Randy Brown, the example I've been using, brother. Randy Brown, he got 3 rings.
Mario Chalmers, right? Mario Chalmers, that doesn't matter. And then on top of that, kind of low key, like LeBron rings are kind of suspect because
how are they suspect?
Because
Thank you. Just say
How
it,
are
bro.
they suspect? How?
He literally said because, and y'all can't even let the answer be heard that you want.
Hey, after hot sauce is finished, let me get in there.
The reason why it's suspect is because LeBron had to go to he had to go to an established player who already won a ring to learn how to win a ring. I mean, it was the super.
Okay.
So
Okay. So we're saying so let me get you straight. So you're saying LeBron's not a great player because he switched teams, right?
I never said he wasn't a good player. I never said that. I said his rings were suspect.
How are his rings suspect?
I just told
You
you.
said, they're suspect because he switched teams. I'm like, okay, so by that logic, Kareem's rings are suspect because he switched teams. Shaq's rings are suspect because he switched teams. Clyde Drexler's ring is suspect because he switched teams.
None of those players switched teams to learn how to be a champion.
You're not gonna. That's not true. Shaq literally switched teams to win the
I
championship.
literally said
that's what I'm saying. Like Shaq literally switched teams. Like, what are you talking about?
He didn't switch teams to learn how to be a champion.
Hear me out.
So
LeBron James switched teams to go to a person who already won championships.
Right.
D-Wade already won, and then learn to win. That's
And what gets conveniently left out in that conversation, you want to talk about the quote unquote suspect rings. Miami hadn't won a playoff series the previous 4 years before LeBron got there. So yes, Dwayne Wade did win a ring, and then they didn't win the playoff series between the 4 years after Dwayne Wade won that Finals MVP in 2006.
You guys are wait, hold on. You guys are falling for the trap that the Jordanites set for us all. This is the church of the Jordanites today, and Roger's the false prophet, man. I'm gonna tell you what's happening here, bro.
All I did was ask a question.
No. Roger, we don't want to hear no more from you. I know this is your show, but we finished talking to you.
Hey, you don't speak for me, man. You don't speak for me.
Hey, Brock, you ain't even old enough to talk. Stop. Just stop. So this is the trap that the Jordanites set. When other than Bill Russell, rings count. But when you start talking about anybody else, as you start talking about Kobe or LeBron or anybody else, now all of a sudden, rings count again. Then when you say Bill Russell, it's stats. So they switch between stats and rings and who went to what teams according to what fits their argument. What you do is you beat them with what was set out. Roger said rings count. If rings count, it's Russell, clearly. And Jordan is number two. When he switches over to stats, it's LeBron. And Jordan is number two. So the thing is, Jordan is simply a good, solid number two. That's it.
Jordan
No,
is
no,
number
no.
Jordan,
I disagree.
no, no, wait, wait.
I
Jordan
disagree.
is
I
number
disagree. No, no. Jordan is
Jordan.
undoubtedly a top three player ever. I'm like, I have no problem admitting that. Like, no, no, no. Jordan is one of the two best players ever.
If it comes to rings, Jordan would be number three because Hakeem got 6 before Jordan, so he would be number 3.
There you go. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. So this is what it is. The Jordanites, what they do is they change their doctrine according to who you're trying to defend.
Yep.
And this is the trap we fall in every freaking time. He doesn't have the most rings. And not only does he not have the most rings, it's not even close.
And see, I'm
But
gonna
the
say,
only time, Roger, your portion is over. You've been lying for 2.5 hours. Stop. Then when it comes to everybody else, they're gonna say rings. They're gonna say rings. But that's why Roger got up here and lied about the era that Russell played in. See, if you listen to his opening statement, he has to tear down Russell, not Russell in particular, has to tear down his era. Oh, so now he said in the 60s, the white man set it up for a black man to win. Man, stop lying.
I never
Stop
said that.
lying.
I never said that.
And I want to say something really quickly also. See, because I said, and I'm agreeing with reset. Rings get you into a mission, right? But once you're there, they're no longer be important, right? Because here's the thing about Jordan that again nobody talks about. Jordan never competed against a top 10 all-time great during his prime. The only one he beat was Magic, but that was HIV Magic. So I mean, can you really be proud about beating a nigga with HIV back
Yeah,
then? I
y'all,
want this nigga got HIV.
Magic made the dream team.
Magic
Look,
was HIV, bro. I mean,
He
bro,
made the dream team
but
after all that.
you know who didn't have HIV that wore him out? Larry Bird.
man, Lord have mercy.
Larry
Larry
Bird.
Bird. Let me finish. Let me
That's
let me
right.
finish. Let me finish. Like I don't interrupt y'all. I know, man. I'm baptizing you with holy water. You beat the HIV nigga. What do you do? So listen. At the end of the day, during Jordan's prime, right? Who was a top 10 all-time player? During LeBron James, Kobe, top 10 all-time. Shaq, a top 10 all-time. Steph Curry, top 10 all-time. Russell had Chamberlain, top 10 all-time. Right? Magic had Larry Bird, top 10 all-time. Jordan did not face a top 10 all-time player during his prime. And that's why the rings get you in. But that's it.
The rings get just so people will understand exactly what you're talking about. You want to stress what the ring will get you
The
in.
ring gets you into the conversation. Okay, who is the greatest, right? So Jordan has picked. But let's be honest, during Jordan's reign of that decade, he was the best. There was no one else that was a top 10 all-time player. All other greats faced a top 10 all-time player. Bird and Magic, both top 10 all-time. Kobe, Shaq, LeBron, top 10 all-time. Steph Curry, considered top 10 all-time. right? Jordan never faced that.
All right, I gotta ask GB. We got another guest up here, y'all, in the super chat. Hold on, because I got a super chat and it's a question in it for GBR, and I got a guest up here that's got to get in too now. Shout out to Black Who Strikes. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. He said, Roger, ask GBI and everyone else on the panel. Okay, so all y'all, everyone else on the panel, if it takes winning a game to save his life, who is he drafting? LeBron or MJ? All right, so we're going to start with GBR since it was asked to you first. GBR, you got to save your life, brother. Who you taking? You taking LeBron or you taking MJ to take that shot?
I got the perfect answer. I got the perfect answer to save my life. At 2 hours and 49 minutes, we're at the portion of the show where we're no longer taking questions and we're getting ready to go into final statements. And we're going to have this discussion another time. We don't have time for that, Black Guru. I don't know why you waited so late to ask this question. It's a good question. Very important question. But it won't get answered today. Roger, go ahead and close it down.
Ain't no way in the world I'm going to close this out. Plus, I got a new guest who ain't even had a 2-minute opening statement, so I can't close it out. How about that?
No, that is a 2-minute closing statement, and by the time we get everybody 2 minutes, we're gonna be over 3 hours. We're gonna be over 3 hours. That's how we gonna do that. Roger famously said to a panelist a while ago, and I agree with him, and I have to direct this to Roger today. Roger, you a liar, and the truth ain't in you.
Look. For research purposes, we're gonna answer this question anyway, and I'm gonna get a statement because we got this new guest here, and this, I believe, his first time here. So we gonna do this because in honor of our new guest. So before we get to him, and I'm gonna let him answer the question too. Since GBR scared to go first, I'm gonna start on your end. Jordan's a cross dresser. All right, you got LeBron and MJ. Who taking that shot, brother? This to save your life.
I'm taking Shazam. And you know what I mean by that. I'm
you take it, Jack.
Damn.
Okay. All right. Big Kev, who you taking? Your life on the line. Who you taking?
Life on the line? I mean, between MJ and LeBron, I mean, there's no wrong answer. I mean, if we're being honest here.
Well, it's your life. It's your life.
I like to say LeBron.
This nigga want to live. Okay,
both of you. They have the most playoff records of all time.
Brother, I'm proud of you. You gonna take your answer to the death. So I'm proud of you. You gonna literally down your sword. I'm proud of you. GBI, who you taking, man?
I'm taking Kobe.
He was not part of the prom, brother. He's not part of the prom. So you too. You did
listen,
too.
You're not following your own rules. We don't go over 3 hours here, brother. I tried to give you the prompt. You ain't want to follow the deal. I got to take Kobe.
I said
better skill, better athlete, one more with less. I'm taking Kobe.
I'm doing something different because we in honor of a new guest that came up. So Jordan's son, who you taking? You got MJ, you got LeBron. Who you taking?
It's like asking if I'm gonna take Bronny or LeBron James. All right, I'm taking Jordan. I'm not taking the son.
Okay, there you go. And I'm gonna ask him this question. Let him answer that. Then we gonna let him get an opening statement in. So y'all, shout out to a random independent. And you know what? Have you been on before?
Hey, good afternoon. Yeah, I was on like 6 months ago or something.
Okay,
It was a while back.
Yeah, well, welcome back, brother. Welcome back.
Yeah,
So before you go into an opening statement, your life on the line, brother. Your life is on the line. Who you taking?
Yeah. For the game, I'm taking LeBron for sure.
This dude don't like life either, but that's okay.
Nah, I'm just saying, bro. Like MJ couldn't get past the Pistons. He couldn't get past Bird. And LeBron took his teams by himself to places that MJ did not take his team. So if we talk about a game, we're talking about a game. If we look at individual stats for a game, I think LeBron is going to edge it. He was able to. He just did a lot more with a lot less than MJ.
Okay.
I agree with Russell. I think it was Russell was the GOAT. I don't agree with that name, but I think he said that Kobe is above both. Something similar to that, and I agree with that for sure.
How? How's Kobe better than NBA and LeBron?
Hey, Roger, let that man have his 2 minutes and stop trying to start a new Stop trying to start a new show at the end of the show. Let that man talk. He's speaking wisdom. Let him talk.
Hey, I didn't try to stop him. We got about 3 more minutes left, y'all. We got about 3 more minutes left, and he can say what he want to say.
Just disrespectful.
Yeah, so if we was gonna go by like ghosts, it's definitely Kobe is number 1, LeBron is number 2, and then MJ is number 3.
Oh man, I like this. Hey, brother, you invited back here every day, Monday through Friday, from 9 to 12. 9 to 12. Yes, you can get my 2 minutes and talk up here. Yes, you can.
If we just looking at the competition, it's not even a comparison. Respectfully, I heard some people up here saying Charles. I think they said Charles Barkley.
Yeah, Barkley.
Charles Barkley was going to stop LeBron from driving in his prime. Come on now, we got to have serious discussions about things. Charles Barkley is not stopping LeBron from driving. I'm not sure. Besides Shaq being in the paint, like who's really stopping LeBron from getting from driving?
LeBron does not like contact with anybody that's like 220, 230 plus.
Karl Malone stopping him. Don Kemp stopping him. The Davis brothers are stopping him.
Hold on, they have to be on his hips. Are you talking about them just sitting in the paint and stopping LeBron, or what do you?
No. The locomotive and everything. He didn't even like playing against Ron Artest. He does not like contact against guys that are equal his mass. He doesn't like it.
You can look at. Hold on, 1 second. Wait 1 second.
My 2 minutes is up.
Apparently. It's 2 minutes. Respect. Show some respect. What's wrong with y'all?
You started it.
But as to the bigger question, like how important is the ring? I think it's important when you're the leader of the team, especially, and also if you had like a huge impact. But we all know that it's not the only, it's not the be all end all. Oh, my bad. I meant to rant a little bit more about MJ. This dude retired twice. He didn't have the same amount of mileage as LeBron and Kobe. He ran away from basketball for a couple of years. Hakeem took over. He has some question marks that old heads never like to talk about. When they talk about like Kobe, they talk about Kobe being the GOAT. Oh, he had Shaq. But when you talk about Magic being in top 5 or something like that, it's not like, oh, he had Kareem or vice versa. MJ got Scottie and Dennis Rodman. Nobody want to talk about it, though. Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen have arguments to be the 2 best defenders of all time. But nobody wants to talk about that. They just want to talk about MJ is the GOAT. MJ is the GOAT. They don't talk about any of these negative aspects that they talk about for LeBron and Kobe and other members of the legend category and the Hall of Famers. So,
Scottie Pippen during the 90s was always a top 5 best basketball player. You cannot name more than 5 people in the NBA during the 90s that was better than Scottie Pippen.
You know what? Jordan's a cross-dresser. I hear the stress in your voice right now. You
do sound
coughing. You sick right now, brother. You sick right now.
Here's my question about the Kobe, right? When did Kobe become a top 5 player of all time? When was Kobe ever a top 5 player of all time at any point?
Wonderful. So here we go. So in
y'all got just over 2 minutes of show left.
Oh, now you want to shut the show down. Now you want to shut the show down.
I let this young brother come up here and say what he want to say. Hey, I'm against my argument, but I still let him say it.
So according to ESPN, Kobe Bryant in 2011 was ranked the player of the decade from 2001 to 2010. All his peers, LeBron James, from Shaq to LeBron James, from 2001 onward, all said that Kobe Bryant was the best basketball player in the NBA. Now, to LeBron's point about LeBron really doesn't like brother, I agree with everything you say, but LeBron doesn't like contact. When he played the Spurs the first time and he got swept, one of the reasons why he got swept because he didn't have an outside shot, and Boris Diaw stayed on his hip, and Boris Diaw was like 260. If you over 230, 240, he don't like that contact.
I don't mean to interrupt, but why are we talking about LeBron in 08 or whenever it was? I think it was 07.
No, I'm just saying he doesn't like contact.
But you can't talk about young LeBron and say he don't. For one, you can't talk about young LeBron and say he don't like contact. For two, you're saying he doesn't have an outside shot, which we all agree with. When he came in the league, he did not have a shot. He still averaged 35 in that series. He still averaged 30 something. So that means that he was driving to the paint to get those points. You can't say he didn't have no jump shot.
Well, for the first year, hold on. For the first year,
that's neither here nor there because I agree with you on Kobe. So I'm gonna take the LeBron. I'm gonna agree with you on LeBron just so we can get the Kobe win.
Barkley's not averaging 40 against LeBron. Stop.
Now, I'm gonna say this to end the show, y'all, because now we are at the 3-hour mark, and it's been great, even though it's been a little blasphemy coming up by these. I ain't gonna say new people, but these guys out of nowhere, just guys out of nowhere. I'm gonna just say that, okay? Shout out to Black Rule Strikes, who says Barkley is easily averaging 40 against LeBron. And if y'all saw the way Barkley moved, I wouldn't argue that. I definitely wouldn't argue that. The way LeBron act and the way Barkley, because Barkley gonna love that. Barkley gonna be into that matchup. He gonna be waiting for that matchup. So. I mean, it is what it is. But I think it's been a great show. I want y'all to remember this show, especially when we do tomorrow's show, about all this stuff about how important the ring is, because it's definitely important. And we're going to talk. We're going to have an interesting thing tomorrow, and y'all going to kind of see what I'm saying. But you're going to have to wait till tomorrow to see it. If you ain't subscribed to the channel, man, this your best time to do it. Ain't no time like the present. We do this at 9 a.m. Chicago time, y'all. 9 a.m. Chicago time. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.